What happens when you combine theatrics with straight audacity? Supreme confidence with supernatural power.
Oh! Another knockdown! Israel Adesanya!
An ability to conquer the world with an insatiable hunger to defend it.
Whitaker nearly out on his feet. Adesanya trying to close it out. Israel Adesanya is the undisputed king of the middleweights.
Put it all together, and you get the undefeated last style bender.
The legacy I want to leave behind is just a guy that took out everyone, so when it's all said and done, they'll be like, man, he fought everybody.
That's the last style bender, folks.
He fought everybody that he could, and he's the one. He's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
Tonight, 2 titles are on the line, featuring one of the most blessed strikers in UFC history against his undefeated rival, a Brazilian Adonis with the most vicious knockout power in the 185-pound weight class.
Oh, that's it.
Paulo Costa does it again.
A specimen, undaunted in his headhunting pursuits.
Oh! He clipped him!
And unshackled in his bad intentions.
Paulo Borrachinha!
Adesanya is the most shameful champion I have seen ever. I will destroy him, and he will cry like a baby.
But first, it's the dawn of a new era in the light heavyweight division. A new champion will be crowned. Fresh off of pushing the pound-for-pound GOAT to the very brink, the Devastator is back to claim what he feels is rightfully his.
It was an injustice. So going forward, I mean, I'm finishing fights. September 26th, you're gonna have Dominic Reyes as your new light heavyweight world champion.
Contending is the bomb-throwing Polish destroyer, a fighter with enough dynamite in his punches to stop any man dead in his tracks.
Dominic is, a really good stand-up fighter, but I think that I find a way how to beat him.
Jan Blachowicz!
Then, Fight Island is about to rock as Brazil's own Eraser finally gets his wish. The chance to overthrow the last man in his way. Yet this isn't just any man. This is the man. The champion who doesn't back down from any challenge. In fact, the man who welcomes them all. Live from Fight Island in Abu Dhabi, it's UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa, and it starts right now.
Dateline Abu Dhabi. The UFC has returned to the famed Fight Island here in the United Arab Emirates, and with it, the MMA leader has brought some serious star power in the form of a championship doubleheader. By night's end, one way or another, the course of UFC history and the professional lives of these 4 athletes will never be the same. Live from the Flash Forum here on UFC Fight Island in Abu Dhabi, this is UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa. Closed captioning for tonight's telecast is provided by Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, Be the GOAT. Available now on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Tonight's telecast is also available in Spanish on ESPN+. And with that, I'm John Anik. Thank you so much for being with us for UFC 253. Undefeated, that is how Israel Adesanya came into the UFC, and with much fanfare back in 2018. Now he is still undefeated, but now he is also undisputed. And as the UFC's undisputed middleweight champion, the last style bender only desires to fight the division's most dangerous guys. To that end, I submit to you the Brazilian #1 contender, Paulo Costa, a marauding physical force who also showed early signs of greatness and who is also still undefeated. So tonight, with a Fight Island backdrop, it shall be done. Adesanya versus Costa for all the middleweight marbles. With that, we welcome in the bona fide UFC lightweight contender. It's dripping on us here on Fight Island. Paul Felder is with us. Just doesn't get a whole lot better than this, man.
Oh, let's go, John. Let's go. It's happening. We are here, man. We got 2 title fights. We got 2 undefeated phenoms in this main event, and we are here, and I am honored to be calling this pay-per-view with you, my friend. Let's go.
So this is only the second time in UFC history that we have a male championship fight that features two undefeated athletes. They are Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa. And for Adesanya, it has been an amazing progression to world-class greatness.
Oh, absolutely. But Israel Adesanya, man, this man is a champion, former kickboxer, and just dynamite on the feet. You see there, he's so composed, so relaxed, and he's taken everybody in different avenues. Whoever he's facing, he seems to just have an answer. He picks his shots. He sees things coming. He counters so beautifully. He's relaxed. He's dancing. He's arcing out of the way and countering back. His feet are always planted. He's always in position. And he's so confident, and he knows how to celebrate.
And of course, on the other side, we have Paulo Costa, a man many believe could spring the upset tonight.
Absolutely, and you can see why. This man's power in those hands, the way he attacks the body, moves forward, uses head kicks like you see there against Hendricks to corral his opponent into the perfect striking distance to land that final blow and get that knockout and that war that he had with Romero. Look at the ground and pound of this kid, the physique on this guy. He didn't have to be fighting, he could have been modeling out there, but he's got that itch to just knock people out, and he's good at it.
And this was the scene at the weigh-in here on Friday. A little gamesmanship from Paulo Costa pulling out the white belt, and that was viewed by a UFC record 7.6 million people on Instagram. You can understand why the MMA masses have a healthy appetite for this main event here tonight. All right, these fight odds brought to you by DraftKings. Playing free UFC 253 pools all night on DraftKings for your shot at over $10,000 in prizes. Don't wait. Download the app now and use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. So Adesanya now minus 175. So the time to bet on him appears to have been a couple of weeks ago. He opened at minus 140. We will see how it goes later tonight. So that's the picture on the main event. The co-headliner tonight will determine the new UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. John Jones has vacated the throne, and we've got two richly deserving guys in Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz who will fight for the vacant belt
you're
tonight.
Not kidding when you say that these guys are deserving of this title shot, especially Dominic Reyes, who has been in there with John Jones and arguably won that fight 3 rounds to 2, right? And goes in there, and now he's got that confidence, right? Not only does he have that confidence, but he's got a chip on his shoulder now that he believes that he should be champion, and now he's got to go beat somebody else. Well, you know he's going to want to go out there and do that in style and do that and put a stamp on it.
Reyes had crazy output early on in that John Jones fight. Perhaps he'll be more measured tonight against the Polish standout Jan Blachowicz, who really has resurged.
I mean, I'm so impressed with Jan Blachowicz over the years, man. He really just researched his entire career and just started doing it with these knockout shots, man. Just sleeping people, knocking people down, and guys that he was counted out against, like a Luke Rockhold fight. When he moved up to 205, people kind of counted Blachowicz out. You see these sneaky submissions. He's good on the ground. He's good everywhere he goes, and he is a Polish powerhouse, John. This guy, when he touches you, you just see the, look at this weigh-in. Just look at this guy's head, John.
That's right.
He's meant to be in there and battling people. It wasn't here in the octagon. It would have been somewhere a long time ago in a ship just invading people's territories.
A lot of mutual respect between those two combatants. They'll put it aside for 25 minutes or fewer later tonight. All right, we know a lot of you fans out there have had this date, September 26th, circled on your calendar for a long time. So we're not going to make you wait any longer. Here's a look at what else is coming your way. The rest of the card is presented by EA Sports UFC 4. EA Sports UFC 4 is available now on Xbox One and PS4. Play as the UFC's biggest stars or start shaping your own UFC legend. And there is the proud Kiwi and UFC flyweight hopeful, Kai Kara-France. He told us Wednesday this is as big as any sporting event in New Zealand this year. And you can be sure the entirety of the nation will be watching tonight as Kara-France looks to inch closer to title contention against a man with a similar mindset, Brandon Royval, for whom it has been a rapid ascent to UFC prominence. Following a bonus-winning performance in his UFC debut back in May, Royval spins it forward tonight with a chance to take his promising career to the next level. Also playing tonight, UFC bantamweight contender Ketlen Vieira. Following surgery, she was in line to compete in May and August, but finally tonight, long on championship motivation, Vieira hits the proving ground for the first time in 2020, and she'll look to close the gap on Amanda Nunes when she faces the streaking Sarge, Sijara Eubanks. Few fighters have capitalized in this current climate more than the Springfield, Massachusetts native. And tonight, opportunity knocks once again as Eubanks makes her pay-per-view debut. All right, these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. Well, he's on the short list of Canada's best hopes for UFC Golden Glory. His name is Hakeem Dawodu, and man, can he strike. Tonight, he'll try to get his aggressive Muay Thai game going and secure a 5th consecutive win against Russia's Zubaira Tukhugov. He made a huge statement to the rest of the featherweight division with a knockout earlier this year, and he could have a number next to his name next week if he can produce on this monumental platform on Fight Island tonight. Now let's get you the rules of the Octagon. 3 judges score the fight. The bout duration is 3 5-minute rounds, but for championship fights and all UFC main events, we go 5 5-minute rounds. A 10-point must-scoring system is in effect. The round winner gets 10 points, his or her opponent 9 or fewer, and scoring is based on effective striking and grappling, followed by aggression, and then Octagon control in that order. And a final note before we get going, it'll be the newer set of unified rules for this event, albeit a hybrid version. The down fighter rule, the old version, just need 1 hand down instead of 2 to be considered grounded. And instant replay can only be used to look at a fight-ending sequence. Once replay is called for, the fight cannot be restarted. With that, let us get to our main card opener. So damn good to have you with us tonight, live on pay-per-view. And 4 consecutive UFC wins have put Hakeem Dawodu on the cusp of the top 15. Tonight, the Canadian looks to continue his ascent at the expense of fellow hopeful Zubaira Tukhugov. There is little to no margin for error at 145 pounds in the UFC, where every fight can determine who keeps their championship hopes alive and who gets knocked down a peg on their journey. Tonight, it's another pivotal featherweight showdown when Hakeem Dawodu meets Zubaira Tukhugov.
I think my boxing better than his. I think it is a knockout.
It'll be a decent fight. I think it's a good test to show off my skills, get my name out there, and show the world what I can do.
It didn't take long for Canada's Hakeem Dawodu to settle into life in the UFC. And with each passing W, he's moving closer to where he wants to be. If fans were impressed with his wins over Yoshinori Horie and Julio Arce, Mean Hakeem has even more to showcase in a big spot here tonight.
Everyone should be worried about me because I got the speed, I got the strength, I got the endurance, and I got the mindset.
With just 1 split decision loss in the last 8 years, there is no question Zubaira Tukhugov is on the fast track to the top. And while the first round stoppage of Kevin Aguilar in February was certainly resounding, the Warrior believes his best is yet to come.
I don't want before fight talk too much. I show in fight. You'll see.
All right, we will see if fight day goes any better than weigh-in day for Zubaira Tukhugov. 19-4-1 as he makes the walk for his 7th UFC appearance, coming off a big win back in February on a fight card headlined by my man Paul Felder. This is a man who does everything pretty well. Master of sport, combat sambo, and hand-to-hand combat. Definite power, big time in that left hand, and try to find a home for it tonight against Hakeem Dawodu.
Yeah, he's got to be aggressive and a little bit unpredictable with that striking, because Hakeem Dawodu is a very, very calculated striker, very good kickboxer. So for Tukhugov, I really expect him to mix in his wrestling. Even if he ultimately wants to end it with TKO or use that left hand to knock his opponent down, he's got to mix that in just to be unpredictable and keep his opponent on his toes. And anytime you've got the cornerman that he's got in his corner, you know, these guys train him seriously. I mean, you got the champion following you around and helping you out, man. That's saying something.
Zubaira Tukhugov has bounced around, trained at Tiger Muay Thai, the American Kickboxing Academy. Of course, he reps Eagles MMA with Khabib Nurmagomedov in his corner. And I think anybody that is a part of that team, the name Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, who passed away in July, is not far from their mind. And you can certainly expect Zubaira Tukhugov to try to do right by his former coach here tonight. These odds brought to you by DraftKings. Playing free UFC253 pools all night on DraftKings for your shot at over $10,000 in prizes. Don't wait, download the app now and use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. So this line's bounced around a little bit. Tukhugov closing a -135 betting favorite. Dawodu +115. All right, here he is, Mean Hakeem Dawodu. 6th UFC appearance. The last 4 have gone quite well for him. Aggressive Muay Thai game, a lot of power, very technical as well. He'll kick your legs, outstanding cardio, works the body well. What am I missing, Paulie?
No, nothing. But one of the things that I want to point out, and when we talk to Hakeem, is that he's faced a lot of these style of fighters, he said, in his previous fights, even outside of the UFC. So he says he's very prepared for this, to go in there and know that there's going to be a wrestling heavy attack, and to be able to go in there, stuff those takedowns, and make him pay for those attempts, and use those right knees, those things that are going to intercept those takedown attempts, up the middle, uppercuts. And I think he's got to be careful, though, to not to over-anticipate that, and to be dropping his level or dropping his hands to be able to stop those takedowns and then get countered by Tuhugov when he does throw those hands, which he will do.
And to piggyback on your point in terms of fighting guys from this camp, he has competed against somebody who had Khabib Nurmagomedov in their corner. It was Murat Magomedov. He fought him twice, went 1-0-1. And he just believes that those 2 fights have really prepared him well for this challenge. And to your point, push the pace, hell-bent on getting the finish. We'll see how it goes for one of Canada's best hopes for UFC Gold and Glory. All right, this tale of tape is sponsored by Howler Head. Hakeem Dawodu is 29, as is his counterpart Zubaira Tuhugov. You see both fighters 5'8" tall. Tuhugov missing weight by 4 pounds, 5.5-inch reach advantage with the Canadian Hakeem Dawodu. All right, now to get this main card started proper, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from UFC Fight Island in Abu Dhabi for UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 19 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 150 pounds. Fighting out of Grozny, Chechen Republic, Russia, Zubaira Warrior Tuhugov. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 11 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 145 pounds. Fighting out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Mean Hakeem Dawodu. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Kevin Satake.
All the way back.
Kevin Satake, our referee. Camila is here on Fight Island. And we are thrilled to have you with us tonight for UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa. Red De La Cruz is in the building as well, as is Mean Hakeem Dawodu.
You ready, sir? You ready?
Pretty appropriate nickname. Taking on Zubaira Tuhugov. Tuhugov is in white. Dawodu is in purple. We'll call it black.
These guys couldn't wait to get to the center of the octagon to face each other.
Dawodu coming off a win against Julio Arce. That was at Madison Square Garden all the way back in November of 2019 at UFC 244. And that was actually the first fight of the night, which certainly speaks to the depth of that BMF card. Shape Your Legend in EA Sports UFC 4, available now on Xbox One and PS4. Dawodu always keeps that right guard high.
Just taking his time, both guys right now, feeling each other out. He keeps throwing that front kick, like a jump front kick to the body, almost like a jump teep.
Hard to know exactly what went wrong with the cut for Tuhugov, but every time we were biking in the middle of the night, he was out there running, right?
Absolutely. He was out there with sweats on, running, covered up. You know, sometimes, nice left hook there from Tuhugov.
Yep.
Things just don't go right sometimes. I mean, I'm not giving him
a pass.
A pass, right? I don't know. I wasn't in his camp. I don't know what was going on during preparation, any illness, any of that kind of stuff. But, you know, he's going to lose money.
Thankfully, Dawodu still accepted the fight. 2 minutes have gone by here in round 1.
Yeah, that was my only concern, right? Is I really wanted to see how this fight was going to play out. When Tuhugov missed weight, I man, just don't want to lose that fight on the card. A, because I like Tuhugov, and, you know, for me and Hakeem, I want to see him get in there and fight. Especially to come all the way here, right? It's not like we're a short trip away. You come all the way to Fight Island. You want these fights to happen for these guys.
Partial land with the left hand for Zubaira Tuhugov.
That kick landed as well for Dawodu.
Inside leg kick for Hakeem. Both guys exercising some patience here early. Tuhugov looking to counter. Now goes on the offensive. Oh! Right hand appeared to find its home.
Yeah, you can see how much these guys are respecting each other's skills here, not rushing in, really taking the time. That right hand from Tuhugov, though, is landing.
Dawodu bit on the uppercut feint. Now he attacks the body of Tuhugov. Tactical fight early. Tuhugov lands the jab.
And Tuhugov slowly starting to let his hands go here.
Tuhugov starting to get a little bit more aggressive here 4 minutes in. Nice level change and a rip to the body by Dawodu.
Yeah, something we talked with Dawodu as well that he would do. Ooh, he's just a little behind there. Tuhugov is landing and getting just out of the way of these counter shots coming back from Dawodu.
Before Dawodu signed with the UFC, he had a hard time finding opponents, and that has sort of been the case for him over the last year. Just had a hard time getting fellow UFC featherweights to sign on the dotted line. Told us Wednesday, I got keys to the gym. And even in this climate, he's been able to train, making his first start of the year here tonight.
Yeah, it's good to hear too, because throughout, you know, everything that's going on, some guys you really do wonder how much training they got in. Are they just jumping in here because they need to, or are they really prepared? And you know from talking to Dawodu, he's ready.
All right, tonight's Corner Cam is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Superior hydration with no artificial flavors or dyes. Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Grab one today at 7-Eleven.
Молодец, Зуба. Все хорошо. Одиночный не бей. 2-3, 2-3.
Don't punch him with a single punches. Throw combos.
Зуба, смотри сюда.
Two punches is
Раздергиваешь
going
его. Дергаешь, дергаешь, дергаешь. Дернул, раз-два ударил.
Feint and then 1-2.
Раз-два ударил.
Feint and put 1-2.
Левой сбоку заканчивай.
When you punch with the right one, finish with the
Он
left.
медленный на рукав. Ты нам...
Throw more combos.
Зуба, и руки. Руки повыше, чуть поувереннее. Все
Put your hands
четко.
up more. Everything is good.
Watch the first Polaris Squads event live on UFC Fight Pass as Team UK and Ireland takes on Team Europe in one of the world's most exciting jiu-jitsu events. Plus, watch replays of Cage Warriors, The Trilogy, Roy Jones Boxing, and past Polaris events only on UFC Fight Pass.
Ready, ready.
Khabib Nurmagomedov imparting some advice upon his teammate Zubaira Tuhugov there after round 1. Here we go with round 2. Nice switch kick from Dawodu.
Yeah, it's like that jump front kick to the body. It's thrown it about 3 times in this fight so far. Dawodu just having trouble finding the timing of his hands so far.
Was able to spin and I believe land with that heel to the body. Close first round according to most. Like a near clash of heads.
Yeah, it was close.
The Amazon original series, The Boys, is back with more diabolical mayhem. Watch the epic new season now, only on Prime Video. Uppercut lands for Tuhugov. Dawodu with the jab.
Yeah, it looked like they both might have connected with their jabs at the same time. Tuhugov doing a good job of getting out of these leg kicks, just sliding just out of the way. Even though there's some redness on that calf of Tuhugov, it doesn't seem to be really landing. He's avoided most of these leg kick attacks from Dawodu.
Jabbing away, low kick for Dawodu. Right hand over the top, and now an uppercut from Tuhugov.
Yeah, Tuhugov loving that uppercut, loving that right uppercut, left hook combination so far. There it is again.
That left hand from Tuhugov, one of the more significant strikes on either side. Now a right hand for good measure.
Yeah, Dawodu returned a right hand as well there.
Yeah, don't look down at your notes during
I know, I'm not. I'm dialed in on this one. Oh, both guys just barely getting out of the way of the other strikes. Yeah, these guys have been standing right smack dab in the center of the octagon, trading, moving out of the way, being very defensive, but not running from each other whatsoever. I'll tell you,
his hands look fast.
I was just going to say that, John. I was going to say he looks fast and looks sharp tonight. Especially since we've talked about, oh, wrestling, this and that. And he said, oh, what are you talking about? I'm coming in here to strike.
Right. Makes you respect the judges when you see these guys landing simultaneously. Sometimes your eyes can only be in one place.
Yeah, you just, I mean, I've always said that. I don't envy that job. I don't want that job.
Man, these guys are throwing under 2 minutes now in round 2.
Oh, Tuhugov saying something to him there. There it is. The first level change really from Tuhugov in this fight. Good defense there from Dawodu, though. Nice.
Rips the body. Hakeem is certainly invested in that body work.
Yeah, and also the leg kick. Nice liver shot there from Dawodu. He snuck that one in just under the elbow, right on the liver.
Somewhat surprising to see that discrepancy in the numbers. Dawodu doubling up on Tuhugov, who gets a takedown here.
I just think as far as maybe the head strikes, Tuhugov's ahead, but Dawodu being very busy with leg kicks.
Keep fighting, guys. Keep it clean.
But yeah, as far as the big punches being landed, Tuhugov.
Don't grab the fence.
Trying to trap that wrist. It's Tuhugov reaching underneath. And if he can get that and keep that and get that right hand free of
Keep
his.
it clean. Keep fighting. Keep it clean.
What are they talking
Keep fighting,
about?
guys. Don't talk.
It's a nice way of the ref saying, shut up and fight.
Tuhugov picking his spots here towards the tail end of round 2.
Yeah, he's still got a hold of that left wrist of Dawodu right now. But nice, now it's free. Hakeem got that free. He's going to try to use this fence to... Nice job there from Tuhugov. Peel him away.
All right, 10 minutes down.
All right, let's take a look at some of the striking action here in this fight. There's some of the body work that we're seeing from Hakeem. Nice right hand there from Tuhugov. Really throwing clean right hands throughout the course of these 2 rounds so far from Tuhugov, and good body work and leg kicks.
He got that takedown at the end, but I still think it might have been yours, but it's close. Those are 2 close rounds. You got to win this round, okay? When you're putting him up and putting pressure on him, he doesn't like it. That's why he's starting to shoot. So you got to start getting ready with those uppercuts.
Okay. Change levels when you go to the body, okay? Yeah. Get that head down, smash that cross to his body, okay?
And let's start ending.
The high kick is there. The high kick is there, man.
If you end your combos with that nerve too, man, he is fucking eating that leg up.
His leg is fucked.
Let's go.
All right, round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. So, some interesting commands there from the Hakeem Dawodu corner. I would ask you, as the professional fighter, when you hear 3 or 4 different messages like that, how much of that are you ingesting and able to sort of put forth?
Well, at least from the corner, it was simple things, right? Like, you know, attacking the leg, the head kick is there, and forward pressure. So, I mean, they're not complicated things to digest. So, I think Hakeem was shaking his head and he was responding to each of those. He seems to be in fantastic shape. Yep. So he's not sucking for wind, trying to guzzle down water. So I think that was all actually pretty clean advice in that corner for Dawodu. There were 3 things that I heard that were all things that he can apply in this fight. Apply. Did I say imply? My apologies. But I do like that advice to go after that leg and to attack the body too. There he goes. He's got to set it up, though. He's got to put that jab or that right hand out in front of it, too, if he wants to get under that right arm of Tuhugov and land that liver shot.
Subtle footwork. It really is a pleasure to watch Tuhugov move on the feet.
Yeah, and he's been having so much success with that right hand. He hasn't needed his takedowns in this fight. He's had some really good boxing and really evasive footwork. He avoided those leg kicks for the majority of the fight, but now you can look at that calf. Look at that lead left calf to Tuhugov. So those leg kicks from Dawodu are paying dividends. They are starting to affect him. There it is again. And you see just that subtle little bit of shakeout, switching stance. That's starting to work, and now Dawodu knows it.
And he also attacked the front of that leg with the knee strike earlier as well, but Tuhugov seems to be moving pretty well.
Yeah, but now he's moving well in this 3rd round without really attacking very much. Oh, that's the head kick that his corner also called for. See, those are things he definitely was listening and hearing things in between rounds. This is smart for Tuhugov to try to mix in his wrestling here. If he can get this takedown, nice defense there from Dawodu.
Beautiful.
Reshot. He's going to try to circle off, get his space back.
You see some numbers there. Dawodu mixing things up beautifully. He's only been taken down once in the fight, and there's that. Oh! Huge left hook from Dawodu, lands flush.
Yeah,
Tuhugov barely flinched.
Is getting his confidence here. If he can keep this fight on the feet and avoid these takedowns from Tuhugov, he's starting to really find himself here in the 3rd round. And it's all because he's mixed things up throughout the fight, right? He wasn't headhunting from round 1 at all. He's been, you know, mixing up his strikes. A varied attack from the head to the body to that leg, more importantly, John.
We have crossed the midpoint of this 3rd and final round. Another fight that speaks to the depth of this UFC featherweight division.
And he's getting warned here. Tuhugov really working hard for you. He's trying to lock his hands together. Nice little switch around there. Jumps on the back. Good work again from Hakeem Dawodu to avoid that takedown.
And man, is Khabib fired up in that Tuhugov corner.
Yeah, they want him to strike. I can just tell by looking at Khabib. They want him to start letting his hands go. That was some of the advice they were giving him earlier. Hands up, more combinations. Now you see Tuhugov's face is starting to wear these shots as well. Yeah, there's the swagger, Hakeem. Right. Now he's starting to feel himself in there as well. Ooh, nice liver shot, right hand.
Taking a page out of Max Holloway's book, pointing to the ground, trying to urge his opponent to bring the offense back his way. Under 90 now to go.
Meet me right here, man. Let's go. Let's go. I'm getting hyped up now, John.
Well, everything Dawodu said he was going to do in terms of the forward motion, the pressure he has done. Close fight coming down the stretch here.
And we talked about that when we met him, when we interviewed him. You could just see the confidence and how much he wanted this fight. He wanted to prove something. And then when your opponent misses weight, you want to beat them up even more for that.
Fighters clinch here.
And Tuhugov had a fantastic start to this fight. Was really landing some beautiful combinations, but the tide has surely shifted now.
Oh, that's a big right from Dawodu.
He's got 40 seconds.
Let's fucking fight!
How about Dawodu?
Yeah, so Tuhugov is smiling, but he ain't fighting.
No cussing! What's your word, gentlemen? Be respectful.
Dawodu wants Tuhugov off of that bicycle on a napkin in the center of the octagon.
There goes to the calf again. Nice slip there from Hakeem.
Dawodu with the advantage on the numbers here in this third and final round.
I wonder if Tuhugov thinks he's up 2 rounds here in this fight. And that's why he's just skating around right here in round 3. He's not engaging at all.
What a way to kick off the pay-per-view main card. Zubaira Tukhugov and Hakeem Dawodu go the distance.
Yeah, that was a back and forth battle early in that fight, but really Hakeem took over in round 3 and Tukhugov just stopped fighting. He looked fantastic, sharp hands, very fast. I don't know if it was the leg kicks or what it was affecting him, but he just stopped fighting towards the end of that fight.
Dawodu doing laps as they attend to Zubaira Tukhugov.
They're always running, man, every fight.
All right, this fight replay is brought to you by GovX. If you have a military or first responder background, get ultimate deals on the gear you love at govx.com.
You see there, that was a nice shot square to the solar plexus from that left hand of Dawodu. Stiff jab, snaps the head back. Look at this slip and rip. That one landed on the chest, but that shot to the gut. Nice right hand from Tukhugov, and we saw that early in the fight. Here goes again, over the top of that left hand of Dawodu. Stiff jab again from Hakeem. These guys were going back and forth early, but it was the body work and I believe the leg kicks that paid dividends and really affected Tukhugov later into these rounds.
All right, now look at the post-fight stats brought to you by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app for free to get in on all the fight action. Use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. Significant strikes. Hakeem Dawodu 61, Zubaira Tukhugov 30. Those numbers significant, albeit unofficial. The one takedown on the Tukhugov side on 7 attempts, though. He had just north of 1 minute of ground control time. All right, the official decision is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. You could save massive money on your mortgage with the incredibly low rates from Guaranteed Rate. Act now by visiting rate.com. All right, with the scorecards now, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Dave Torelli scores it 29-28 Tukhugov. Anders Olsen scores it 30-27 Dawodu. And Ahmed Korchi scores it 29-28 for the winner by split decision, Mean Hakeem Dawodu.
All right, so the UFC winning streak is now 5 for Mean Hakeem Dawodu. Congratulations, man. You sort of shook your head at the end of that one, but a great fight. Your thoughts on what just transpired?
You know, I thought it was going to be a good fight, but as everybody can see, he was running. You know what I mean? So I know he was just trying to bait me in for a shot, but he was running. You know what I mean? So anyways, this is one of the first fights I felt like I was fighting for something bigger than myself. All my black people, all my African people, everybody that's getting oppressed. They're trying to make fun of us. They're trying to bring us down. I refuse to kneel. We've been kneeling for too long. Canada, get behind me. They only allowed me to bring 1 flag, so I'm sorry for not bringing the Jamaican and the Canadian flag, but you know what I represent. Everybody back in the 403, my family, my friends. I promise the next fight, give me somebody who ain't gonna run. This is 5 straight now. I need a top 10, and give me someone who ain't gonna run no more.
There's no doubt you're a guy many believe can carry the torch for Canada. Real quickly before I let you go, it was a big third round for you. What was your mentality going back to the stool after round 2?
I saw that he was getting tired. He was shooting desperately. You know what I mean? I'm sorry for the cussing, but I was trying to bait him in because he was running. And I knew he was trying to bait me in for a takedown, so I thought maybe if I dropped my hands, I could, land some good counters on him. But he was on the back pedal, and I'm not going to run in stupid, but I need to work a bit, I guess, on cutting off the cage and, running down these sprinters. Summon the inner Jamaican in me and catch up to these dudes when they're running.
Well, in terms of getting a top 15 opponent, you're going to be hard to deny now after a big win tonight. Congratulations. Safe travels home. There he is, your winner, Mean Hakeem Dawodu.
And that post-fight interview is brought to you by EA Sports UFC 4. Shape your legend in EA Sports UFC 4. Available now on Xbox One and PS4. Hakeem Dawodu does it again, man, and goes out there. And even though his opponent was running there in round 3, he still made it exciting, attacked the body, attacked the legs, and an impressive performance from that young man right there, in my opinion.
It really is, and hopefully it's not an extended layoff now as he gets back in there. But again, if you're looking for a kid out of Canada who can really make a run and get that country behind him, right, and sell out the Bell Center, perhaps Hakeem Dawodu is the guy. All right, these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC, and it'll be good to see the Brazilian talent Ketlin Vieira back in the octagon tonight. She was really starting to put it all together before a little speed bump last December. We'll see if she is at her aggressive best tonight as she takes on the offensively minded and streaking Sajara Eubanks, the Mark Henry protege, who was here in Abu Dhabi for a jiu-jitsu tournament back in the day. Chases a second win in 14 days tonight. She will do so as the road underdog. And if you are looking for a little action on tonight's fights, who isn't? There can be one destination for that. DraftKings. Try it free today.
Hey UFC fans, it's Jessie Cofield from DraftKings here to let you know it's not too late to get in on tonight's action. Right now during the fights, anyone can play for a share of $10,000 in prizes by joining DraftKings free-to-play pool. Simply download the app and sign up with the promo code UFC. Then just pick who you think is walking out a winner, how it's all going down, and how long it's going to last. Speaking of time, you don't have much left to enter tonight's pool, so download the DraftKings app now and use promo code UFC to play for a share of $10,000.
UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa, is presented by The Boys. Watch the diabolical new season only on Amazon Prime Video. By DraftKings. Play in free UFC 253 pools on DraftKings for your shot at over $10,000 in prizes. Don't wait. Download the app and use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. And by Guaranteed Rate. You could save massive money on your mortgage with the incredibly low rates from Guaranteed Rate. Act now by visiting rates.com.
In a very important fight for the bantamweight division, you have Holly Holm, the former champion, taking on the surging Irene Aldana.
This is a true fighter with a Mexican spirit.
I think I have that warrior spirit. I think every Mexican has it. It's in our blood. It's in our DNA.
Irene Aldana possesses high-level boxing skills.
Too fast, too crisp. Everything's so technical.
And every time she steps into the octagon, she looks better than she did the time before.
Trying to go belly down, and there's the tap.
She got it.
Irene Aldana.
But standing across the octagon, she is going to fight one of the most skilled fighters in female combat sports history.
Holly Holm is an 18-time world boxing champion. She is as experienced as any fighter in any division, male or female.
I know that I have so much more to do, and I want to show people what I'm capable of. I still want to make it back to the belt.
I respect Holly. You can only be one of the greatest by fighting the greatest. And this is my time.
Oh! Irene Aldana! Whoa!
Slept her!
She's a different style than any fighter I've faced so far in MMA. But we're going to be ready. I'm still learning, still getting better, and still evolving. I'm going to go in there and just make a statement.
I'm here to climb to the top until I get my opportunity for the belt. I'm hungrier, and I'm here to win this fight.
It's the big flaw to think that you're more hungry than me. Yeah, she's motivated, but there's a reason why I'm still fighting. I love it, and I still want it. And everything in me wants a victory.
I know this fight can take me one step closer to the belt. It's going to be clear that I'm next in line, and I'm going to do everything in my power to get my hand raised.
All right, so tonight is the first of a 5 rack of fight cards coming your way from Abu Dhabi over the next 5 Saturday nights. Next weekend, it'll be UFC Fight Night Home versus Aldana. The main card looks like this. Big opportunity for a couple of heavyweights in the co-main event. A fight that a lot of people are talking about, Germaine de Randamie and Juliana Pena. Bantamweight title eliminator of sorts right there. But again, this is all what this sport is about for someone like Irene Aldana. She has risen to the cusp of her first UFC main event. And a big opportunity against the former champ, Holly Holm.
100%. She really has earned this opportunity to be facing a legend like Holly Holm. And to go out there, the boxing that this girl, Irene Aldana, is just fantastic. And of course, the boxing and kickboxing pedigree from Holly Holm just makes this fight so fantastic. You know what you're getting in this fight. You're getting kicks, you're getting punches. Somebody's getting busted up, somebody's getting bloody. And I cannot wait to call it, my friend, because I will be here still on Fight Island.
All right, here now a look at the upcoming UFC schedule, brought to you by Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Be the GOAT, available now on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So, of course, next Saturday, October 3rd, it'll be Holm versus Aldana. Main card live on both ESPN and ESPN+. Saturday, October 10th. How about that headliner at bantamweight? Marlon Moraes versus Corey Sandhagen. That card wall-to-wall on ESPN+. Then Saturday, October 17th, if you like grudge matches, you will like UFC Fight Night. Ortega versus the Korean Zombie, 7 p.m. Eastern for the main card on E+. And we will close out this Abu Dhabi stretch in style October 24th. UFC 254, Khabib versus Gaethje, live back on pay-per-view. Well, not far from here is the Louvre, Abu Dhabi. Breathtaking architecture and splendor really in every direction here. The museum opened in 2017, roughly 24,000 square meters in size, and houses 8,000 square meters of art galleries, making it the largest art exhibition in the Arabian Peninsula. All right, these 135-pound rankings are brought to you by EA Sports UFC 4. Shape your legend in EA Sports UFC 4, available now on Xbox One and PS4. So Ketlen Vieira, number 7 in the world. Sijara Eubanks was 15 a couple of weeks ago. Now she has come up to number 13 in the world. And certainly out of this one, a bona fide bantamweight contender will emerge. Will it be Vieira or Eubanks? We will find out, but no denying how big a fight this is in terms of the career trajectory for both women. So 2 weeks ago, Sijara Eubanks was wrapping up an impressive win over Julia Avila. Tonight, Sarge is right back at it in the bigger octagon as she draws the bona fide contender, Ketlen Vieira. Bantamweight contenders collide tonight, and for Ketlen Vieira and Sijara Eubanks, the goal is not just to win, but to deliver the kind of performance that'll kickstart a title run. And both women are embracing the challenge ahead.
Ketlen's in for a world of a fight. She's gonna get somebody that she's not ready for. She's gonna get a lot of heat, a lot of boxing, a lot of diversity, a lot of speed.
Minha maior meta é ser campeã. Acho que todo atleta que entra no UFC quer ser campeã. E eu acho que vencendo a Sijara, que é uma atleta que vem embalada, vai me colocar no top 15 de novo, ou no top 5 de novo.
Back in action for the first time since the lone loss of her career against Irene Aldana last December. Brazil's Ketlen Vieira has been jonesing to get back to the business of chasing the 135-pound title. And she expects a win tonight over Sijara Eubanks will get her where she needs to be.
Então, quando a Sijara fechar a porta ali, ela vai ter uma grande adversária, faminta por vitória, e que vai ser uma grande luta, uma grande guerra, e eu tô pronta.
A return to the bantamweight division seems to have been the missing piece of the puzzle for Sijara Eubanks, who has won 2 straight over Sarah Morris and Julia Avila in 2020. And while there aren't many willing to join Sarge in those famed deep waters, Ketlen Vieira just may be the dance partner she's been looking for.
I've always had game opponents throughout my career. It's one of my favorite. To be the best, you gotta fight the best, so give me the best. I don't want any tomato cans.
Around this time, just 14 days ago, Sijara Eubanks was making her walk to the UFC octagon in Las Vegas, a walk that resulted in her hand being raised at the end of 15 minutes. And when we talked to Sarge this week about the quick turnaround, she said, well, I've always wanted to do some cowboy-esque gangster stuff. In fact, she wanted this fight so badly, she didn't even ask where it was. But here she is in Abu Dhabi, a place where she has competed before for the World Professional Jiu-Jitsu Championships back in 2013. And speaking of jiu-jitsu, Sarge also shared that she's looking to get back to those grappling roots and says the finishes will be coming soon.
Thanks, Megan. Yeah, Sajara Eubanks is a ball of fire. I promised her I wouldn't spend too much time on her high school basketball career, but she went to the High School of Commerce in Springfield, Massachusetts, and every basketball team needs someone like Sarge on it, right? A bruiser. She said, I could set a pick, and she certainly could box out. Of course, we're happy she is plying her trade now as a mixed martial arts athlete, 7-time IBJJF champion. There is no denying her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt credentials, but she likes to strike, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, well, she likes to strike, and I'm glad she's trying to get back to those jiu-jitsu roots and use those submission skills. But having said that, she's been working with Mark Henry in New Jersey, and in her corner tonight is a good friend of mine, Ryan Cafaro, who's a very good kickboxing coach as well. So she's got those skills to back it up on the feet as well, but I think this is going to be a grappling match at some point in this fight between both of these women, and I'd like to see how Sarge has evolved that jiu-jitsu game over these last few years, especially training in Jersey.
All right, so here's the number 7 ranked bantamweight contender, Ketlen Vieira, and a lot of people will say the best way to resonate with UFC fans, finish fights and fight often. And Ketlen Vieira was doing a whole lot of that before injuries intervened. She was out from March of 2018 to December of 2019. So she's sort of been hardened by that experience, by all of the injuries. Of course, she was to face Marion Renaud tonight, a much taller fighter. She had to make some major range adjustments, but a lot of people think in Ketlen Vieira we could be looking at a future world title challenger, if not champion.
Absolutely. I mean, and she's really perfect for this weight class. Very big, strong, and she comes with aggressive, good hooks, good punches, and obviously a finisher when it hits the mat. And that's why I'm so curious to see where this fight plays out. Do these women slug it out and test their stand-up skills? I don't see that happening for Ketlen because of the outcome of her last fight against Irene Aldana, where she got knocked out pretty viciously. So I expect her to go out there, be aggressive, move forward, look for the takedown, try to get Sarge on her back, stay on top, use ground and pound, and ultimately try to use her submission skills tonight, John.
Vieira was a Brazilian wrestling champion back in 2009. Jiu-Jitsu, though, was her first martial art at 12 years old. Then she sort of gravitated to judo for a little bit. But the dream of being a pro fighter and a UFC fighter for her really dates to childhood. We mentioned some of the injuries. She had knee surgery in 2019, a grueling 6 months of rehab and physical therapy. But she's talked a lot about sort of volume striking and self-belief being linked. And the more she believes in herself, the more volume and combination she is able to throw. So, sounds trite, but it's all in front of Ketlen Vieira here tonight as she tries to move to 5-1 inside the octagon. These fighter odds are brought to you by DraftKings. Playing free UFC 253 pools all night on DraftKings for your shot at over $10,000 in prizes. Don't wait. Download the app now and use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. So Ketlen Vieira, about a 2-1 favorite here tonight. Sajara Eubanks is the plus 170 underdog. All right, this tale of the tape is sponsored by Howler Head. The Brazilian Ketlen Vieira is 29. Sajara Eubanks is 35, made her pro debut 2 days before her 30th birthday. Vieira, 4 inches taller, less pronounced in reach, where she will have a 1-inch advantage. All right, now for the introductions, back inside to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 7 wins, 4 losses. She stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Brick, New Jersey, by way of Springfield, Massachusetts, USA, Sajara Sarge Eubanks. And now introducing her opponent, Fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 10 wins, 1 loss. She stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 136 pounds. Fighting out of Minas Amazonas, Brazil, presenting the number 7 ranked bantamweight contender in the world, Ketlin Finamino Pinera! And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
All right, here we go. Main card debut for Sijara Eubanks, or pay-per-view debut, I should say. Red De La Cruz, Camilo Oliveira with us here on UFC Fight Island.
Fight, are you ready? Fight!
And with that touch of gloves, we are underway. Ketlin Vieira is in yellow. Sijara Eubanks is in the all black.
Wasted no time closing that distance.
We'll see how the former flyweight Sijara Eubanks deals with one of the bigger bantamweight frames in Ketlin Vieira.
Good job there from Sarge, turning her around. Looked like Ketlin was waiting for that knee attempt so she could scoop underneath.
The Amazon original series, The Boys, is back with more diabolical mayhem. Watch the epic new season now only on Prime Video. Nice combination from Ketlin Vieira, staying long with that jab early. Eubanks counters effectively.
Nice work mixing in those kicks.
Nice leg kick from Sarge.
Yeah, I know in talking to Ryan, her coach in the corner tonight, that in her last fight for Sijara, they wanted a lot of more kicks out of her, but she just never got the opportunity. So I expect to see some of them, especially to the legs tonight.
It was a wild start to that fight September 1st between Sijara Eubanks and Julia Avila. And a moment ago, Eubanks landed a crushing right hand. Vieira wants to clinch here.
Yeah. Yeah, she's going to trade. She's going to do just enough of the kickboxing, stay on the outside, land some of these shots. But this is where she wants to be. She wants to close this distance, use her size, use her strength, and look for a takedown.
Eubanks did acknowledge the power of Vieira, but felt like that was sort of inexorably linked to her size and not so much any natural power. Yep.
Nice takedown defense there from Eubanks, and lands a nice uppercut on that break.
Ketlin Vieira out of range with that 1-2.
I'm telling you, for Eubanks, stringing these fights together as quickly as she has, she's just gaining confidence in herself, in her striking, and just in her ability to stay focused and not gas out, right? That was something that she was concerned about. Oh, man.
Heavy leather being thrown and landed by Ketlin Vieira there. Well, you'll see Angela Hill on our post-fight show later on ESPN Plus, and she has been a fighter who has really benefited from keeping an active schedule.
Yeah, what does she fight, 15 times this year, or where are we at?
It'll be 5 by the end of 2020. Under 2 minutes to go in round 1.
Nice, oh, good return there from Ketlin Vieira.
Nice rip to the body by Eubanks. Vieira loads up on the left hook, unable to land.
And I think that's smart for Sarge, right? To try to go to the body a little bit more here. When you're facing somebody, a tall opponent like Ketlin, you gotta attack what's open, and reaching over and going to the head is not always the best answer. Ooh, man, snappy right hand. Good movement there from Eubanks.
Oh, beautifully done there. Vieira rips the body and then goes up top. So largely a kickboxing match through 4+ minutes. Shot there from Vieira, nothing doing.
Yeah, Vieira didn't set that up at all, right? She's got to mix these strikes that she's landing well with and add that takedown in. So far, they're just two separate things. Her striking and then her wrestling. And to be successful with these takedowns, it gets expensive. Oh, man, these women are slinging some leather in there. Nice right hand there from Vieira.
And Dominic Cruz may be sitting home cringing when I talk about rust, but just one round of fighting for Ketlen Vieira in the last almost 3 years. Right?
And that brawl and a takedown. See, there we go, right? You start slinging those punches together, and then you add in that takedown, and she was successful with it.
So a good visual for the judges for Ketlen Vieira to end the round in the closed guard of Sijara Eubanks. Tonight's Corner Cam is brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Superior hydration with no artificial flavors or dyes. Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Grab one today at 7-Eleven.
In your nose, out your mouth. In your nose, out the mouth. Nice and calm. So, you're doing an excellent job. I think that takedown might have stole her the round, so we need to come out strong in the second, okay? You're doing a great job when you're hitting the body. If you come back up with the tight left hook, it's gonna land. When you finish your combinations, I need you dipping. Dip, okay? Don't engage in these brawls.
Nice right hand there from Eubanks over the top. Here's that uppercut after the takedown attempt, but then Ketlen Vieira, nice straight right. And here, she's mixing in these big punches and then level changes, gets around that outside reap and gets the takedown. Nice job mixing things up there.
3 UFC fight nights from Fight Island are coming to you live over the next 3 weeks. Former champion Holly Holm draws Irene Aldana. That one's October 3rd. 1 week later, it's Marlon Moraes versus Corey Sandhagen in a massive bantamweight showdown. And then October 17th, the long-awaited matchup between T-City, Brian Ortega, and the Korean Zombie Chan Sung Jung. You can catch all the UFC action on ESPN and ESPN Plus next month from Fight Island.
And I like that in Eubanks' corner, Ryan, letting her know that that takedown probably stole that round for her. But then let her know the successful things that she did there. Going to the body, she has done well going to the body and attacking upstairs. And for Vieira, she's just got to keep doing what she's doing there, throwing those big punches and then mixing in her level changes. She did it again there. She gets the clinch and gets right back down to the ground where she wants to be. That's nice work there to mix in those punches to that takedown.
So Ketlen Vieira getting a little bit more comfortable, started to mix things up beautifully, and now has 2 takedowns on 4 attempts.
And we saw early in the fight when she was still a little, anxious and moving in there, she didn't quite throw punches to those takedowns, and she wasn't getting them. And Sijara did a great job of defending them, but now when Ketlen starts mixing in those punches, then she finds those takedowns.
Shape Your Legend in EA Sports UFC 4, available now on Xbox One and PS4. Eubanks closes up the guard here, 3.5 minutes to go in round 2. Vieira doing a nice job with that head pressure. That looks annoying.
Yeah, she's trying to dig that in there so she can get some separation, get those arms free so she can start landing that ground and pound. See there, she's going to dig it under the chin, especially when Sarge's head is up against the fence there. Super uncomfortable. And you see Sijara trying to angle, maybe look for a Kimura, but really she just wants to get some separation and get some space here. She's shaking her head, looking at her corner. It's not what she needs to do. She needs to push on the face here. Get her forearm in the face of Ketlen and try to get some separation. Push on the hips. She's got her foot here free. She's got to let go of the guard, right? The guard is not going to help her in this position up against the fence. Oh, wow.
All right, quick trigger by Jason Herzog in my mind there. He stands up the fighters.
Yeah, that's lucky for Sijara in that case.
Vieira got the takedown in round 1. Eubanks was unable to get up. She seemed to be working there, but Herzog not seeing enough action, and we're back in the middle of the octagon with just over 2 minutes to go.
Well, I do like how they're throwing, though, and when they get close, they start letting these punches fly. I think Sajara needs to start investing back into the body and coming back upstairs. There it is there, but nice counter there from Ketlen Vieira. Some good skills on display here from both of these women, especially on the feet. Not just head hunting, especially for Sajara. She's attacking the bottom, but beautiful countering from Ketlen.
Eubanks with a couple of nice jabs. Left hook just out of range. What's the biggest adjustment if you're Sajara Eubanks right now?
Well, you've got to stop those takedowns, right? And the takedowns are coming after Ketlen is mixing in her striking. So what she's got to do is she's try to be first and keep Ketlen on her back heel like she's doing now. Press forward, can't let her do that. You got to slip that and come back with her own. And I do think she's got to start attacking that leg. That lead leg is so out there because you're facing an opponent who's taller and longer than you. I think the calf kick would be a really nice adjustment for her right now in this second round. She's going to the body a lot, right? But when you're going to the body against somebody who wants to take you down, it's always high risk.
All right, Eubanks starting to put her strikes together now. She has landed more significant strikes unofficially, 37 to 30. 30 seconds now to go in round two. Pretty good right hand now. The left hook lands for Vieira. Vieira circles, eats the body kick there towards the end of round two.
All right, let's take a look at this takedown from Ketlen Vieira. She gets that outside trip again. She's done that at least twice throughout this fight. Here's some good body work again from Sajara Eubanks and a big counter right over the top. And there's a solid right hand from Vieira right down the pipe through the guard of Sajara Eubanks.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we're down 2 rounds, okay? I need you to stay focused. I need you to keep that left hook tight, throw with speed. Throw the right hands and the left hooks, get your combinations going and dip after. Okay. We gotta start throwing a couple home runs.
It's all ours. We trained for this. Be smart. You gotta hit her. She's looking at your hand. You don't have to brawl. You don't have to brawl with her. Just hit her.
Round 3 is brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. For my money, nice job by both corners. Ryan Cafaro there, of course, your right-hand man in the corner of Sajara Eubanks. He's looking for a couple of home runs. He doesn't feel like the scorecards are going to be their friend tonight.
Hey, but listen, that's sometimes what you have to tell your fighter in between rounds. If you think they're down, you've got to let them know that this third round, we got to go out and we really got to go for it. And I think that's good advice. And for Ketlen, they're letting her know, you've got this. You've been through this. You're conditioned for this. Let's go and get this. Stiff jab there.
Jab from Eubanks, trying to take that number 7 that resides next to the name of Ketlen Vieira.
It's a really skillful fight, though. I mean, I'm really impressed by both of these women in this fight. And there we go. We're seeing a little bit more aggressiveness there from Eubanks, which she needs to do because she needs a 10-8 round to get a draw, or she needs to go out there and get a finish in this third round.
Vieira rather easily gets the clinch here. Head strikes, Vieira 43, Eubanks 18.
Yeah, Eubanks, for Sajara, she's really, like Ryan said, got to throw some of those home runs, got to start looking for those big overhands, dip in, left hooks, put your whole body behind it and hope that you can get a knockdown. But the striking of Ketlen Vieira is also looking. Ooh, there's that left hook. That's exactly what she's got to do.
Right, that's a home run.
Yeah, that was a nice snappy left hook that Sarge just landed. Oh! And a right hand to follow up.
Looked like the right guard of Vieira was just raised enough to prevent any damage. damage from that head kick, but now both women starting to open up late in the fight.
Yeah, now they're throwing. Now Sajara's finding some of these big strikes that she needs to find. That head kick landed. Oh, nice movement though. But these girls are fighting, man. I love this fight so far. Oh, stiff jab from Ketlen Vieira.
It's been there all night. It's one thing to have length, it's another thing to use it effectively. Vieira just misses on the counter. Eubanks got a late start in MMA, as we mentioned off the top, but really wants to make up for lost time. Believes she has a good 5 years, and that was a pretty good right hand she landed a moment ago.
Yeah, and she got her guard back up nicely because Ketlen Vieira has been really good throughout the night of countering Sajara Eubanks. As she does to go to the body, she'll do a really nice combo, but then Ketlen comes back, and that was good job there from Sajara to get her hands up and protect herself. Oh, man.
Both women landing there. Kind of hard to see which of those strikes are landing and which aren't. Coming up on 2 minutes now to go in the fight.
I think it's a combination of both. I think they're both landing. It's who's landing the more significant one.
Eubanks lands to the body with the left hand a moment ago.
Nice movement there from Sajara.
That's what she should be doing, yep.
Yeah, she's got to hit and then circle out, because what Ketlen's doing is landing her combination and then looking for a clinch, looking for a takedown on top of that. See, if you stand in front of her too long, she's going to try to grip you up. She's going to try to grab you. Ooh, nice liver shot.
Lands to the body. Eubanks has done a pretty good job closing the distance and finding her way into striking range. But of course, her coaches believe she is down 2-0. Not a terrible shot from Vieira, but Eubanks able to stay upright. 1 minute now to go.
Yeah, 1 minute. Been a great fight so far. This third round especially, a very good striking battle between these two ladies. Nice little body kick there from Sajara. Nice, good movement.
And a good counter from Eubanks after Vieira had landed.
Nice job there. So tall, trying to jump on Vieira's back is going to be a difficult task here in the third round. With 19 seconds left, she just got to start throwing leather.
Perhaps a late submission attempt here.
Not going to happen.
Big ground strikes late from Eubanks.
Great
so
fight.
Sajara Eubanks and Ketlen Vieira go the distance. Competitive 15-minute fight featuring 2 of the division's top 13 in the weight class in which they are all chasing the all-time great, the future Hall of Famer, the Lioness Amanda Nunes. All right, this fight replay is brought to you by GovX. If you have a military or first responder background, get ultimate deals on the gear you love at govx.com.
Well, let's take a look at some of the handiwork there from Sajara. Good overhand right, big uppercut, going back and forth. Nice right hand from Vieira. And here's a good takedown. She set that up with some good punches, ended up on top. But here's another exchange, body, body, head. Counter right hand from Vieira. Back and forth. This was the story of the fight. There's that nice straight right from Vieira. She really was on form tonight, mixed things up well. But a shout out to Sajara as well. Really started to find her rhythm in that third round. Look at that head movement there, avoiding those big shots. I mean, that was a fantastic matchup between both of these women tonight.
All right, the official decision is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. You could save massive money on your mortgage with the incredibly low rates from Guaranteed Rate. Act now by visiting rate.com. With the scorecards, here is the buff.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Ketlen Vieira.
All right, we are here with your winner, Ketlen Vieira. It is great to see you back. I know it has been a long year for you. Congratulations on a great performance tonight. How do you feel?
O ano foi bem longo para você. Parabéns por uma grande performance hoje à noite. Como é que você está se sentindo?
Eu me sinto muito bem, estou muito feliz de estar aqui. Primeiramente, toda a honra e toda a glória ao Senhor Jesus. Mestre Dedé, essa vitória é para você. Você é um campeão, te admiro, te respeito muito.
I feel very well. I got to give all this honor to Jesus. And, you know, Dede, this is all for you. This is in your honor.
Your jab looked great tonight. Go ahead.
Dia 28 agora é aniversário da minha mãe. Eu não vou estar perto dela, vou estar viajando, retornando para o Brasil. Eu quero dizer, mãe, eu te amo muito. Você é meu maior exemplo de mulher guerreira. Te amo. Robertinha, te amo. Tudo nosso.
My mom's birthday is on the 28th. I'm going to be flying back to Brazil then, so I want to give her a big kiss here.
Before I let you go, I know you've dealt with some injuries. It's been a long time for you to get back in this octagon. We have a big fight in your division next weekend. How soon might we see you back in here?
Você lidou com algumas lesões, demorou para você voltar aqui. Tem uma grande luta na semana que vem. O que você acha?
Eu sempre falo que eu sou igual uma flecha. A flecha a gente puxa para lá e para frente. Então isso que aconteceu comigo. Dia 14 de dezembro não foi eu que caí aqui dentro, mas sim tudo aquilo que me impedia de me tornar campeã.
I always say I'm like an arrow. You got to pull it back for it to go forward, you know. So in December, that was not me. I'm here to be the champion.
You're right in the mix after a big win tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Ketlen Vieira.
That post-fight interview was brought to you by EA Sports UFC 4. Shape your legend in EA Sports. UFC 4 available now on Xbox One and PS4. Big win there from Ketlen Vieira, and just an outstanding performance from both these women. That was a back-and-forth battle on the feet, but she definitely pulled it out, had the takedowns, and just had the more volume in this fight tonight, John.
And if you know all that Ketlen Vieira has been through, she was all the rage after turning back Sarah McMahon and Kat Zingano, right? Now she's back in the mix in a big way after turning back Sarge tonight. All right, keep it locked on UFC Fight Pass with several new original shows coming this fall. New episodes coming soon from Fight Lore, UFC Chronicles, Knockouts Only, UFC Watch Party, Fight Physics, and Year of the Fighter. Download the UFC app today. All right, these locker room shots are brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of UFC. So last time Kai Kara-France fought, he had 10,000 Kiwis screaming his name in Auckland. Tonight, no crowd, but you can be sure all of New Zealand is watching this one as Kara-France tries to take his career to the next level by getting past the energetic 28-year-old Factory X product, Brandon Royval. His UFC debut produced a win and a finish, but left largely unsatisfied, which has many fans excited to see what he can produce for an encore tonight. Our featured bout is at flyweight. It is yours coming up.
I told you you'd make it to the big show. Now here we are.
Rated T for Teen.
All right, these fight odds are brought to you by DraftKings. Play in free UFC 253 pools all night on DraftKings for your shot at over $10,000 in prizes. Don't wait. Download the app now and use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. A lot of people fancy Brandon Royval, a live underdog at plus 185. Kai Kara-France entrenched as the minus 220 betting favorite in the division in which they're all chasing the Brazilian champ, Davison Figueiredo. Seemingly coming out of nowhere to get it done in his debut, Brandon Royval now has his sights set on flyweight contention, and he'll be right in the mix should he be able to spring the upset here against Kai Kara-France. A year ago, Colorado's Brandon Royval was a prospect putting together the resume that would earn him a call from the UFC. Tonight, he's a bona fide top 10 flyweight contender, and one looking to ascend further by taking out New Zealand's Kai Kara-France.
Fighting Kai Kara-France tonight is just a great opportunity in itself, man. It's an opportunity to go out there, shine. It's a great platform for me to go out there and make a name for myself.
The battle I'm expecting with Brandon is a 3-round war. He's going to come forward, I'm going to come forward, we're both going to swing.
The owner of 4 UFC wins since making his promotional debut in 2018, Kai Kara-France has the main card spotlight for the second time tonight, and he expects to make the most of it by following up his February win over Tyson Nam with a similar result against Brandon Royval.
I have the advantage on the feet, definitely. Striking, my footwork, my speed, and just my knockout power. It's always going to be there. I just have to be patient and pick my shots.
If you only get one chance to make a first impression, Brandon Royval made it count, seizing his moment in May with a submission of veteran contender Tim Elliott that earned the pair the fight of the night bonus. Now the Raw Dog looks to deliver a worthy encore here on Fight Island.
I'm going to beat Kai just because I put in a lot of work and poured a lot of love into the sport, man, and I think that's what I'm going to get out of it.
Brandon Royval has been very clear about his goal. He is bonus hunting here in Abu Dhabi. After earning a Performance of the Night award in his UFC debut earlier this year, he hopes to follow up with another impressive victory. And throughout this fight week, the excitement just radiates off of him. You can just tell he's really living his dream. And as it relates to opponent Kai Kara-France, Royval told us that, he really feels like this matchup is tailor-made for him. He believes he'll be able to show off his creativity and the wild side to his striking, which for the Colorado native is a perfect recipe for him to earn another $50K.
And to his parents, Marie and Chris, look at your boy now, right? Brandon told us of a time growing up in a 1-bedroom apartment for the family of 4. It has been an amazing rise for this 28-year-old out of Englewood, Colorado. Second UFC appearance, used to work overnights and not sleep just to preserve this dream, because at Factory X under Mark Montoya, he don't care about your nighttime job. You can't miss practice. And Royval really believes now he is ready to put that proverbial best foot forward as a mixed martial arts athlete.
Well, it would seem that no sleep training helped him out here on Fight Island, perhaps. But this kid's exciting, man. And to debut the way he did, to go out there against a veteran in Tim Elliott and get that finish and get the bonus, just got to be such a confidence booster. You work your life, you're in the regional scene, just hoping and praying to get there. You see everybody get bonuses, you want it so bad, and then to make that come true for yourself and keep your head on your shoulders and come in here Fight Island on this big, huge pay-per-view, get a main card spot. He knows where he sits in this division. He knows with a win over Kai Kara-France, he's right there in the title picture.
And he believes he has a lot of advantages in this matchup: speed, athleticism. Respectfully, he called Kai Kara-France sort of a basic striker and a basic kickboxer, and he talked about these Factory X breakdowns where they give you a couple things to think about, and he was pleasantly surprised when the text message said, just be yourself and you can win this fight. Well, he's one of the best flyweights in the world, and he has the number 7 next to his name to prove it. Enter Kai Kara-France, 6th UFC appearance, 4-1 overall inside the octagon. He's won 9 of 10, and he told us this is the biggest sporting moment in New Zealand in 2020. Speaking big picture of UFC 253, not just talking about his own fight. Israel Adesanya, of course, is waiting in the wings, but the All Blacks aren't playing right now. He believes the entirety of New Zealand is watching this fight tonight, and he certainly wants to make a statement against Brandon Royval.
Yeah, absolutely. And to go out here tonight and, and be on the same card with all his teammates and Izzy on this pay-per-view spot. And he talked about, the nickname Don't Blink. He really wants to go out there and would like to go back to living up to that, right? Go out there, get a big finish, get a knockout. But he's also an intelligent fighter from an intelligent camp in City Kickboxing where he knows he doesn't want to go out there chasing it aggressively, get himself caught, get himself in trouble. So he's going to do his thing and be himself. He just trusts that eventually he's going to find that knockout and get that big finish that he's been looking for.
Yeah, our producer Zach Candido asked him softly about that elusive first UFC finish, and he sort of deadpan, yeah, my nicknames don't blink, so might want to get a finish, right? Yeah. But we will see how it goes for Kai Kara-France, still just 27 years old, and he has accrued a wealth of mixed martial arts experience. All right, this tail of the tape is sponsored by Howler Head. Kai Kara-France is 27, Brandon Roybal 28 as of last month. Roybal 5 inches taller than his New Zealand counterpart. Reach advantage resides with Kai Kara-France, just an inch. All right, now for the intros, back inside of Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC flyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a brawler holding a professional record, 11 wins, 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of Inglewood, Colorado, USA, presenting the number 9 ranked flyweight contender in the world, Brandon Raw Dog Royval. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 21 wins, 8 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand, presenting the number 7 ranked flyweight contender in the world, Kai Don't Blink Kara-France. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Lucas Zataki.
The beautiful Camila Oliveira is getting us started, representing the great nation of Brazil. Brandon Royval.
Ready.
Out of Factory X, taking on City Kickboxing's Kai Kara-France. Kara-France aligning with City Kickboxing after his stint on The Ultimate Fighter. Royval with a kick-heavy attack early. He is in white. Kai Kara-France is in black.
And Royval talked about, you know, Kai Kara-France's stand-up being maybe a little basic, but he did give him credit and say, but he's very good at what he does out there. So he
huge right hand and an early knockdown for Kara-France. Simultaneously, they land. That looked like an illegal knee. One knee was grounded, but the action continues. Furious start here in the flyweight division.
Oh, he's looking for... It's across the chin, though. He's not going to get this choke, but man, does that look uncomfortable right now. Look at the jiu-jitsu skills from Brandon Royval. God, he's got this omoplata. He's got the omoplata. But Kai Kara-France doing a good job. He's trying to get his posture back up. He's going to try to put that knee across the belly here, but you see Brandon doing a good job of controlling that leg there, so he can't do that. Now he's got it free. Wow, what a start to this fight, John.
I'm telling you. It'll be all championship fights the rest of the way, but a scintillating start to this one. It looked like maybe simultaneous knockdowns are close to it.
Yeah, the spinning back fist and the right hand landed at the same exact time.
And now put a little jiu-jitsu in your pipe.
My goodness. Oh, whew.
And we are being told that perhaps that knee landed to the neck area, so perhaps not illegal, but that is neither here nor there. 3 minutes and change to go round 1.
Yeah, right. I mean, who cares? The fight's continuing. That was a crazy exchange, and I'll live with it. Everybody seems to be okay and still fighting, so we'll move on until we know for sure, right? Nobody's teeth's on the canvas, so we'll be good. Wow. I mean, the spinning back fist right hand, little double knockdown. One of the best moments of the night so far for me. Good work here from Brandon Royval to just be all over Kai Kara-France right now. Looking to take his back. Kai doing a good job of turning back into him. He's going to try to end up back on top. Good job there from Cała France.
The Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Brandon Royval, has no problem playing the grappling game as he gets back to work with the jab now.
Oh, there's another spinning back fist. Man, you gotta love the flyweight.
Serious pressure from Royval.
Clipped him with that knee. Another one, and now Cała France coming back with some big punches. Man.
How good is this? Stephen Wonderboy Thompson approves. Beautiful body kick from Royval.
Oh, he rocked him with that knee. He's looking for the neck now, John. He's letting it go. He's trying to re-tee it up.
Cała France warned there for grabbing the shorts of Royval. Kai appeared to recover pretty quickly, but
I can't tell how tight that is.
Here.
Here's the problem with where he's at in this position, right? Is Brandon Royval's up against the fence, so in order to squeeze, he wants to be able to position himself. Not that he wants to pull back. You actually don't want to pull back on the guillotine. You actually want to pull in and squeeze on the neck. Good job there from Cała France to get out of that position. Nice sweep there from Brandon Royval. Looking for a leg. You can't even call these fights with these flyweights because so much is happening at a given time.
They certainly don't care about my promo. Shape Your Legend at EA Sports UFC 4, available now on Xbox One and PS4. Less than a minute now to go in the round. A round that has had it all. Little slip there from Royval.
Yeah, Cała France has been doing a good job of kicking that base leg out of Royval. Ooh, man. Kai's swinging now. Ooh, good left hand. Oh, man, nice combinations here from Brandon.
Oh, and a counter right from Cała France, but Royval putting it all together on the feet.
He doesn't care, right, John? He gets clipped that right hand. He comes right back in with that knee. They've been rocking each other back and forth throughout this entire fight.
Royval rips the body, now goes upstairs. But man, does he look like he belongs in this division's top 10. He was happy to see that number 9 next to his name. One of the better rounds of 2020 right there. Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor Sports Drink. Superior hydration with no artificial flavors or dyes. Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Grab one today at 7-Eleven.
A little water on your head. I want you to breathe for me for a second. Breathe for a second. Okay, listen to what I'm saying to you. You can't crash into the right hand.
Am I doing it again?
Yeah, a little bit. Now listen. I need you to work away from the right hand because that's the only thing he's caught you with. Your volume looks amazing. Okay, that's great. Volume looks amazing. When you get tight, find elbows. Listen to Alex. Here's water. Here.
Mid-range, the elbows are there. Just keep walking your right.
All right, let's take a look. I mean, I don't even know what happened in some of these exchanges. It was so crazy. That's a nice sweep there, kicking out the base leg. Big right hand. Royval ate that right hand, still gets back up. He can barely be up. Lands a spinning elbow. I thought it was a spinning back fist as Cała France lands on the neck. That was really close. I'm glad nothing happened with that right there because that would have been a shame if this fight could not continue because it is bananas right now what's going on in the octagon between these two warriors right now.
The unauthorized reproduction or distribution of this copyright work is illegal and punishable under law. Great synergy between pupil and head coach there with Mark Montoya and Brandon Royval. I thought Mark did an outstanding job giving Brandon a few things to chew on.
He really does. In between rounds, he's very calm and he says very specific things without overwhelming you. I love these knees from Brandon Royval up the middle there.
This fight.
Leg kicks. He's just, and that's one thing Mark Montoya said to him. He's, I love the volume. Just stop crashing into that right hand. God, the cardio of these guys is insanity. He's looking for that guillotine. He's got it. That's tight. John, that's tight.
You see a wince from Cała France.
He might go to sleep here. Oh, he's popping out. He's popping out. Oh, he's readjusting his feet. He got it!
Oh, Brandon Royval submits Cała France. The biggest win of his professional career comes tonight on Fight Island. There is a new flyweight contender, Brandon Royval.
I'm telling you, That kid is the truth right there. To come in here, those are your 2 UFC fights. You come in, you take out somebody like cała in your second fight in the organization. Come on now.
2-0 in the UFC with as many submission wins for Brandon Royval. He has never been finished. The overall winning streak is 4. And what a moment for the Colorado
man. Oh, I'm glad I'm here on Fight Island, John. It's moments like that that make it worth it. That was unbelievable for that kid to come in here and do what he just did here.
All right, this fight replay is brought to you by GovX. If you have a military or first responder background, get ultimate deals on the gear you love at govx.com.
All right, let me take a look at this again. He immediately cinches up this tight guillotine, and it looked like cała head might pop out for a second, but you see him wincing. You see how tight this guillotine is. Look at this foot adjustment. That's ultimately what he does. He triangles his legs and gets that squeeze and gets the tap. Unbelievable.
And then an immediate display of sportsmanship.
Yeah.
As he tried to attend to cała, and it looked like both fighters came over and had a nice moment with UFC President Dana White and Dean Thomas and Matt Serra. But man, what an incredible 2020 it has been for the former LFA flyweight champion, Brandon Royval. All right, the official decision is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. You could save massive money on your mortgage with the incredibly low rates from Guaranteed Rate. Act now by visiting rate.com. All right, to make it official, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Lucas Satake's called an end to this contest at 48 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by submission due to a guillotine choke, Brandon Raw Dog Royval.
Wow, here he is, Brandon Royval, 2-0 in the UFC, but no win bigger than that one. I know you were kind of hard on yourself after a big win and a performance bonus back in May. Beautiful effort tonight, man. How do you feel?
My dumbass got dropped twice, but other than that, I feel good, man. We could do better out there, but fuck it, man. I get in there and I fight, and that's all there is to it, right?
So you guys combined for one of the best rounds of 2020, but then in round 2, it was all you. What were your thoughts there in terms of the adjustments going into that second round?
I feel like I didn't make any good adjustments, but I was like, all right, I'm going to pick up that pace on him. So that was kind of going through my head, just pick up the pace and just stay on him. He was throwing bombs, and I could feel I was longer and popping off more shots. He definitely was landing the harder of the 2 shots for sure, but it is what it is, man. We're out here trying to make statements. Hey, thank you, Ed. Thank you, Cyrus, bro. I appreciate everything you guys are doing.
Hey, before I let you go, I know you felt like you had a lot of advantages in the matchup, speed, athleticism, but the grappling, man, just too much tonight. Your thoughts on the fight-ending sequence?
I did not have the power there. That bull had the way advantage on the power. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it over. I don't know. I pulled it out of my ass. We're here. Whatever. It is what it is. We're out here making statements. I think that makes me number 7 or number 6 or something, so whatever. We're doing this, baby. What's up?
So what's the forecast for the rest of the year now?
The forecast, the rest of the year, man, I was going to call someone out of the top 5, but I don't know. I got to work on some shit. I got dropped right off the bat. And yeah, we're going to go back to the drawing board and see what happens.
Well, Factory X has a new contender. He is Brandon Royval. Congratulations, Brandon Royval, your winner by submission.
Man, this kid's got to get on top of himself and stop putting himself down. But anyway, I want to talk about a tweet that we ran earlier where a gentleman made a $2,000 bet on Knight, Dawoodu, and now Royval, and he just won himself a nice, cool $20,500 some on that bet. Congratulations to that guy, I can tell you right now.
How about that? Hopefully he didn't hedge and he's taking all of that home. That is a heck of a parlay.
But how about this kid, John? This kid's incredible. He thinks he stinks. He's not watching the same fights of himself that I'm watching right now, because this kid's unreal, man. Sign me up to watch him fight on any pay-per-view.
Just turned 28, and I would think a very interesting proposition for the rest of the flyweight contenders. He will have at least a number 7 by his name when the new UFC rankings are released next week. All right, what's coming up is brought to you by EA Sports UFC 4. Shape your legend in EA Sports UFC 4, available now on Xbox One and PS4. So back in February, Dominic Reyes went 25 minutes with John Jones, and after 5 rounds, Reyes believed he had won the fight. Many agreed with him, but that is the past. And the present for the number 1 contender is this second UFC title shot tonight, and it comes against the also deserving Polish wrecking machine, Jan Blachowicz. He has a list a handful of contenders. Twitching on the canvas, he believes his power, among other things, is going to be the difference tonight as he vies to deliver another UFC championship to the nation of Poland. It's the co-main event for the vacant light heavyweight title, and it's coming up next. Truly a matchup for the ages. Justin Gaethje versus Tony Ferguson for the UFC's interim lightweight title. Tonight's winner is getting that crack against the undisputed champion, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Two of the very best with a lot on the line. Oh my goodness. Gaethje swinging for the bleachers. Oh, this is crazy. The punishment on Ferguson's face.
He's getting beat up. Oh, he's hurt bad. They're going to stop the fight.
That's it. Justin Gaethje. He's the UFC's interim lightweight champion.
Do you not want that on you? Why'd you just throw that off?
Wait for the real one. Justin Gaethje will have a date with Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is 28-0. That is unheard of. He's dominated spectacular fighters. He's defeated world champions.
Khabib Nurmagomedov! The perfect streak continues.
No one runs through people the way Khabib does. He smashes people. He's an undeniable, unstoppable force.
Never gonna stop me, I'm unbreakable.
Justin Gaethje presents the most dangerous challenge to his title reign.
Never gonna stop me.
Khabib Nurmagomedov, 28-0.
Dominating everyone in his path.
The highest level of mixed martial arts. Khabib has won every single fight by taking you down and mauling you. Justin Gaethje has never been taken down and mauled.
This dude is the most dangerous guy in the division for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Scariest guy in the division next to Khabib.
Justin Gaethje can beat Khabib.
Before fight, everybody talk about now is good challenge. What they gonna say after when I smash him?
Khabib is relentless. He is ruthless.
He is a smash machine.
I dominate every single opponent. No one even close. I'm gonna smash him very badly.
Justin Gaethje!
The most violent man in the most violent sport.
I want to be the best 155-pound man on the planet Earth, so Khabib's got to go.
One of the most anticipated fights in UFC history.
Champion versus champion.
This is a massive fight the world will be watching.
It won't be long now. These UFC lightweight rankings are brought to you by EA Sports UFC 4. Shape your legend in EA Sports UFC 4. Available now on Xbox One and PS4. So it will be a title unification bout October 24th between the champion Khabib Nurmagomedov and the interim champion Justin Gaethje. Poirier, Ferguson, Hooker, McGregor, and the rest are waiting in the wings. But I know, Paul Felder, you are looking forward to the clarity that will be afforded us on October 24th. At UFC 254, and at this time we are happy to reveal the main card coming up later this month. It'll be the first time we have a 6-fight pay-per-view main card since UFC 190 back in the day, and a lot of meat on the bone, as they say, Kid.
Absolutely. I mean, you take a look at this card, there's a lot of fights that stand out. Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier, Alexander Volkov, Walt Harris, Islam Makhachev, Rafael Dos Anjos. I mean, Cynthia Calvillo getting back in there, and obviously at the top of that, Khabib Nurmagomedov and Justin Gaethje. Come on, man. I could not be in this division, and I would still be dying to see what's going to happen in this lightweight championship bout. I mean, these two killers are going at it. Justin Gaethje has looked absolutely fantastic in his last couple fights, just tearing apart everybody. And Khabib, obviously, has beaten absolutely everybody in his career.
That is about as fascinating a stylistic championship matchup as we can put on paper. And when we return to UFC pay-per-view in October, that will be your headlining fight. Well, it was once considered the UFC's glamour division, but the belt changed hands a lot from 1997 to 2011. And then, of course, John Jones arrived and would go on to have his hand raised in 15 straight title fights. Daniel Cormier, of course, made his presence felt on the throne as well. But, Paul, within the half hour or so, we're going to have a new UFC light heavyweight champion and a guy not named DC or Johnny Bones.
I know.
For the first time in a long time.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you know what? It's good. I'm sure these guys feel like there's a bit of a chip on their shoulders that they're going to go in there and still have not had him, dethroned.
That new shiny belt, though, looks pretty good. These fighter odds brought to you by DraftKings, playing free UFC 253 pools all night on DraftKings for your shot at over $10,000 in prizes. Don't wait. Download the app now and use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings. You can bet on it. All right, so a new era will be ushered in as Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz collide for the title of undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion, and the winner will head home having effectively changed his life forever.
News breaks, John Jones has vacated the 205-pound championship.
He has interest in fighting at heavyweight. So at UFC 253, Dominic Reyes will fight Jan Blachowicz for the vacant light heavyweight title.
Welcome to a new door.
I want the belt. I've always wanted the belt. When I first started training, it was for the belt. Doesn't matter if it's John or whoever. When I set goals, I accomplish them. And this is another goal that I intend on accomplishing.
Welcome to a new day.
When I signed contract with UFC, my goal was title, that I want to be the best.
Oh, big right! Anderson's down and out!
Now, my dream is a little bit closer. Nothing can stop me.
One way or another, that night, we will have a new light heavyweight champion of the world.
We're here again, and I'm gonna once again prove that I'm the best in the world. This fight is gonna be a beautiful showcase of power, skill, and technique.
Oh! Dominic Reyes is for real, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that.
And Dominic Reyes believes that he should be the champion anyways. He thought he won the fight against John Jones.
Oh! Jones retreats.
You clearly showed that you can compete against the very best ever.
All that fight did for me was level me up to this level that I didn't even think I had in me. So going forward, I'm finishing fights.
Oh! Early knockdown for Reyes!
Dominic is a really good fighter, young, hungry, but I think that I find a way how to beat him and stop him.
Oh, Blachowicz teeing off now.
I've been in this sport all my life.
Jan Blachowicz is as tough as they come, man. He has been a man on a mission.
I think I'm a really technical guy. I can fight in the ground, in the wrestling, and in the stand-up.
When he lands, he can shut your lights out.
Oh! Huge left from Blachowicz.
He's out.
Jan Blachowicz stops Luke Rockhold in his tracks.
I'm a terrible matchup for Jan. I'm fast, I'm sharp, I'm technical. The key is just movement. I move extremely well, and he doesn't.
Oh! Right at the gun! Dominic Reyes!
I believe in myself, in my power. It's gonna be second round, KO, and that's it. He's gonna feel the legendary Polish power.
This is not a game. I'm going to smash this fool.
Well, Joanna Jędrzejczyk was the first fighter from Poland to break through and realize a UFC championship. We'll see how it goes for Jan Blachowicz in his 15th UFC appearance here tonight. Dominic Reyes had just turned 15 years old when Blachowicz made his pro debut. The UFC debut for Blachowicz came in 2014, Paul, and at that time, he felt like he needed to make changes because he was in the big show. He went to a big city, a different camp, and the early returns weren't great. He realigned with his longtime head coach, Robert Yoch, and now he's won 3 straight 7 of 8, and he realizes a world championship opportunity tonight.
You hear that from a lot of guys when they get signed to the UFC, right? That they need to step their game up. Oh, I need to switch my camp. I need to up my level. When they forget that it's the grassroots, it's these coaches, it's these people that care about them that got them to the big show, that got them to this opportunity. And it took Jan a little bit of time to figure that out. A few fights, maybe a couple losses, and he was like, wait a minute, why did I have to change everything in my life? Because I'm in the UFC now. Went back, and now he's been on a tear since then, and has looked fantastic. He's got the submission skills. He's got that power, like he likes to talk about, that Polish power, man. Blachowicz really, really, truly deserves to be in this title shot tonight, and I'm really happy for him.
So much power behind that right hand of his, works the body well. He's got a high fight IQ. He can fall back on a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt if need be. He certainly acknowledged the stand-up game of Dominic Reyes, the athleticism, but he likes facing southpaws. He has trained with several of them. And just a few months before he will become a father for the first time in December, Jan Blachowicz would like nothing more than to have a shiny new UFC title belt to bring into that delivery room. Now we await Reyes. Well, he almost realized the dream of playing in the NFL on Sundays, but the former Stony Brook University defensive back Dominic Reyes made a quick pivot to mixed martial arts, and he has only become one of the best 205-pound fighters in the world. Tonight, not unlike Blachowicz, he vies to become the 13th undisputed light heavyweight champion, and the Jon Jones fight in those 25 minutes has so much value for him. But if you look back at the beginning of that fight, he threw 80-plus strikes in the first 6 minutes. I can almost assure you he won't be doing that tonight.
No. It's a different fight, right? It's a different fight. Jan Blachowicz and Jon Jones are completely different style fighters, where Jon sits back, uses kicks, has those counter elbows and likes, to mix in a lot of his takedowns. Where Jan, you got to watch for that power bomb of a right hand early, especially as a southpaw. And that's why we talked about it earlier, that Blachowicz likes facing southpaws, because he's got a murderous right hand. And anybody, when you're facing somebody in that switch stance or that southpaw versus orthodox, it's that power hand that's your big weapon. So Blachowicz is going to be sitting back and waiting for that. He's going to wait for that opportunity for Reyes to throw a big kick, and for Dominic, I think he needs to attack with those big head kicks. Use that left leg. Keep Jan's right hand occupied at all times if you can.
This is a plus athlete in every sense of that term. He actually called out Jan Blachowicz after a win over Jared Cannonier back in the day. Of course, this fight will happen for the undisputed UFC title. And in hearkening back to that Jon Jones fight, and we may do that a lot tonight, Dominic realized what it takes to get to that championship level, and a lot of that is sort of pacing yourself, right? And feeling out the fight a little bit. He was up 3-0 according to a lot of people. Johnny Bones came on strong in the championship rounds, but now it is all in front of Dominic Reyes, and he hopes that belt is headed back to the great state of California with him after this one. All right. This championship tale of the tape is sponsored by Howler Head. The American Dominic Reyes is 30. Jan Blachowicz is 37. Reyes the taller man by 2 inches. Both fighters coming in right on the 205-pound championship mark. 1-inch reach advantage with Poland's Jan Blachowicz. All right, to get you primed for the co-main event, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this championship bout is presented by Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Be the GOAT. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Mike Bell, Anders Olsen, and Dave Torelli. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Kevin Sataki. And now, this fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 26 wins, 8 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Warsaw, Poland, presenting the number 3 ranked light heavyweight contender in the world, Jan Blachowicz. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 12 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of Victorville, California, USA, presenting the number 1 ranked light heavyweight contender in the world, Dominic the Devastator Reyes!
Dominic. All right, gentlemen, you know the rules. Protect yourself at all time. Listen to my word of commands at all time. When I tell you to stop, you stop. Touch gloves, let's dance.
So how about this? The undisputed UFC light heavyweight title is on the line. Also of note, Dominic Reyes has all 3 of his brothers in his corner for the first time in his UFC career. He has realigned with Alex Reyes, UFC veteran, who was his initial head coach, and after the John Jones fight, Dom asked Alex to become his head coach once again. And here we go. Jan Blachowicz is in red. Dominic Reyes out of the southpaw stance is in black. Blachowicz masterful with his counter strikes. That is not lost on Dominic Reyes. Early low leg attack for Jan.
Yeah, I expect to see some of that big left kick from Reyes. There we go.
It's amazing. There was a lot of natural sound in this arena until the title fight materialized, and now you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah, the tension is here now. And we got some title fights. We got some belts on the line, man. Especially for these light heavyweights. You know, John Jones has reigned over this division for so long. This opportunity is not lost on them. They know how big this is for their careers. Ooh! Ooh! Blachowicz got out of the way of that one just last second.
The Amazon original series, The Boys, is back with more diabolical mayhem. Watch the epic new season now only on Prime Video.
Put your fingers.
Those fingers have to be extended in the air and not open towards the opponent, thus the warning from the referee. Beautiful entry from Jan as he lands the body kick right below that Reyes elbow.
Yeah, that was a nice combination there from Blachowicz.
And man, was Jan calm, cool, and collected this week.
Yeah, I'll say, man.
Nothing tense about him.
He cracks me up, man. I like talking to Blachowicz. He's a good interview. He's confident, and just kind of relaxed and does his thing, you know. And could just knock you out absolutely cold if he lands that right hand. So can Dominic. That's why this fight, that's why you feel that tension in the room right now. Both these guys know right hand for Blachowicz, that left side there for Reyes at any second.
Pretty good counter left from Reyes. Blachowicz has been the slightly busier man early. No surprise to see a more calculated approach out of Dominic Reyes early. Blachowicz with a flurry, unable to land.
Yeah, I mean, both these guys also first fight where it's 5 rounds this evening, so they're well aware, especially for Reyes, who knows, having been in there with Jones, having gone those championship rounds, knows how to pace himself now, pick his shots. He's got a lot of time to work.
And for Jan Blachowicz, this is his 3rd straight scheduled UFC 5-round fight, a win over Jacare Souza November of 2019, and then a main event win over Corey Anderson with John Jones watching in Rio Rancho, New Mexico earlier this year.
Yeah, lots of patience being. Ooh, nice. I like that combination from Blachowicz. Go into that left body kick quite frequently after that big right hand.
And I've heard you talk a lot about investing in the body, especially in a 25-minute fight.
Smart. Smart not to headhunt. And when I say the body, for me, in my mind, that includes the legs. But you see, again, he's going to that nice left kick. And look at the footprint already on the ribs of Reyes.
That's pretty intense. Also some redness on that lead leg of Dominic Reyes, but man.
Yeah, I feel like Blachowicz is one of those guys, even when he's throwing some of these techniques, they don't look that hard. I feel like they are, you know? Some guys are just built different.
Reyes wisely raises the guard there. Final 30 seconds now of round one of a possible 5.
Yeah, both guys have had their moments, but Blachowicz being busy and following up his big punches and landing to the leg or to that right side of Reyes. It's a smart investment here in the first round.
Yeah, Blachowicz has thrown nearly twice as many strikes. 5 minutes down.
All right, let's take a look here. Here's Blachowicz landing this really nice kick right under the elbow on the right side of Dominic Reyes. Again, right there, you see the bruising and swelling and just that redness already starting to form, as well as John said on that lead leg of Reyes.
1-1 angle, bro. Throw that kick. It's going to jam him. You got to establish that, okay? Yeah. It's safer to throw it out there, too. Don't throw it in front, okay? Other than that, you're doing good. You're seeing everything coming. You're moving well. You see what he got. Let's go in there and have fun. Let go. Let go, baby. All right? Stay patient. Jest bardzo dobrze.
It's very good. It's very good.
Bardzo dobrze.
Very good.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, so the Blachowicz corner likes what they saw. On the other side, you saw Alex Reyes. Your thoughts on his message to his younger brother?
Yeah, he's just got to trust himself more, right? He's got to go out there, be a little more aggressive. He kind of was staying on the back foot. And you saw at the end of that round, he threw that big kick, but Jan did catch it. So that might be a little bit disconcerting for him, where it's like, okay, I landed that big body kick, but Blachowicz is on it. He's seeing it. There we go, and immediately comes out much more aggressive here in the second round. He's got to try to get the respect here of Blachowicz. That inside leg kick was working for him in the early parts of that first round, and he kind of got away from it. But then again, that could be because the counter to that big inside leg kick is a sharp right hand.
And again, Reyes doing a nice job blocking most of those shots from Jan Blachowicz.
And you know what I like about that left kick that Jan is finishing with? Where does that force Reyes to go? Towards his right hand.
There's that patented power right of Blachowicz. Reyes able to avoid it. Blachowicz backs up out of harm's way there. About a minute gone by here, round two. Nice job by Reyes pointing the toes to that body of Blachowicz, who continues to seemingly try to draw some offense out of Reyes so as to counter.
Yeah, you can tell that's what Blachowicz wants. He's sitting back and he's trying to force Reyes to throw one strike, and then he's going to counter with 2 or 3 and just keep those numbers tallying up. So even though he might have to block or eat one shot, he's trying to land 2, 3, maybe even 4 more after that, and throwing a diversity of kicks and punches and things like that, going to the leg, to the body. He's just making, Reyes miss a lot too here in the second round.
Oh, looked like that right hand got through.
Clipped him.
So the plus 220 underdog Jan Blachowicz off to an outstanding start tonight as Reyes attacks the lower leg.
So far, that's been his most successful strike, is that inside leg kick.
John Jones is watching. Feels like the left kick to the body is open all day. Ooh. Nice combination for Poland's Blachowicz.
I was thinking the same thing. I agree with Jones that I do think that left kick is there, but my only thing that I think Reyes, at the end of that first round, when Blachowicz ate it and then caught the kick and then the round ended, might be deterring him from throwing that kick right now.
Blachowicz with 2 times as many wins as Dominic Reyes has pro fights. 26 pro wins for Blachowicz, 13 fights for Reyes, who just missed on that head kick Blachowicz evades.
And I'm surprised I haven't seen a little more of that left kick coming out of Reyes because, ooh, nice job there. Now he's starting to throw a little bit more frequency. The head kick will occupy the right hand of Blachowicz. Nice kick.
Nice movement by Reyes with that upper body too. He seems to be more in it than he was just a moment ago. Just trying to let those athletic gifts take over. That'll work as he attacks that body. Now the leg.
Yeah, I like that. I like that Reyes is letting those kicks go more. That's what one of the things he's really known for is he throws a lot of kicks. Obviously got a devastating left hand.
Man, that doesn't look pretty on that right side of Dominic Reyes.
Yeah, it's oh, nice. Mostly covered up there. Might snuck that right hand through. There he goes again. I love that left kick that he's finishing with. Oof.
Both guys starting to open up. Some nose damage for Reyes, who covers up here.
I didn't notice it until now. I'm looking at it. Oh, they're slinging. Wow. There's that left kick from Reyes.
Reyes really starting to open up, but Jan Blachowicz continues to land. 30 seconds to go in the round.
He's hurt. Reyes in a world of trouble. Jan Blachowicz has done it. He's the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion. Poland, your guy got it done. That Polish power, John. We talked about it all week leading up to this fight. Blachowicz was busy. He was throwing combinations. He invested in the body, and when it got ugly in there, he threw power and got the finish. We have a new light heavyweight champion.
What a career resurgence it has been for the new champion Jan Blachowicz. At one point in 2017, 2-4 in the UFC. He has now won 4 straight, 8 of 9. And now the path to light heavyweight gold and glory goes through Poland. Jan Blachowicz, undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion.
It's sinking in. Look at him. He's taking it all in right now. You know, sometimes it happens. You just have that outburst, and then it sinks in. I'm a UFC champion now.
This fight replay is brought to you by GovX. If you have a military or first responder background, get ultimate deals on the gear you love at govx.com.
Where are you? All right, let's take a look. First of all, I got to acknowledge that he just said, John Jones, where are you? But let's take a look at this finish here from Blachowicz. He just had this air about him this whole week, like he knew he was going to get it done. He's coming out, he's aggressive, he busted up the nose, he busted up the ribs, he busted up the legs, and then ultimately he just sat him down. Oh, straight right. Oh, you see it snap the nose sideways of Dominic Reyes. And then here he goes, just laying on the pressure. He was countering so well as oh, look at that left hand. It's the left side for Blachowicz this time. That sits him down, and then you see he's just starting to shell up. And Jan Blachowicz is the new champion, ladies and gentlemen.
And he will indeed have a belt when he welcomes a child to the world in December. And there's the reaction from Robert Yoch and the Blachowicz corner. His fiance, Dorota, there as well. Jan Blachowicz has broken through. He has done it. You got to think somewhere Joanna Jędrzejczyk is smiling. And certainly this a bitter pill to swallow for Dominic Reyes, who will build himself back up. He is still a young man, 30 years of age, but This light heavyweight division now belongs to Jan Blachowicz. The official decision brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. You could save massive money on your mortgage with the incredibly low rates from Guaranteed Rate. Act now by visiting rate.com. To make it official, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Kevin Sataki has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 36 seconds of round number 2. Declaring the winner by TKO and new undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jan Blachowicz.
Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Jan Blachowicz. 37 years of age, you have finally gotten done. Can you describe what is going through your head right now?
I don't know. Only one is in my mind. John Jones, where are you? Don't be a quitter. I'm here. This is how we do it in Poland. I'm waiting for you.
Well, on behalf of the entire UFC world, we congratulate you on this world championship. You fought a beautiful fight. You were so relaxed and collected throughout this fight week. It seemed like you just knew you were going to turn in the performance of a lifetime, and you did just that.
You know, this is nothing new for me. You know, I have got 37 years old, a lot of fights, so it's just fun. You know, soon I'm gonna be a father. This is something what I'm afraid the most.
I would imagine that is a scarier proposition for you.
Also, I'm really happy.
We're going to take a look at some of the replays. Obviously, we spent a lot of the broadcast talking about your right hand and your counterattack, but the left hand ultimately was a big factor tonight. Your thoughts on the finishing sequence?
Yeah, this is something what we prepared for Dominic. We've got really good sparring partners in our gym. Really good southpaw kickboxer, so I was ready for everything. I feel great today. The acclimatization was perfect, so Abu Dhabi is prepared. You know, it's made for me. Thank you, Abu Dhabi.
You certainly maximized this moment tonight. Before we let you go, any words for all of your Polish fans and fans around the world who are no doubt celebrating deep into the night?
First in Polish, okay? Polacy, dziękuję za wsparcie. Czułem tą moc, którą mi wysyłacie. Dziękuję bardzo. W poniedziałek wracam i imprezujemy cały miesiąc. So, one more time, thank you everybody, Polish fans, fans all over the world. You send me a lot of energy. I feel it tonight. Thank you one more time, and let's go. Let's keep it going.
You are about as classy as it gets, and you are now the best in the world at 205 pounds, the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion, Jan Blachowicz.
Jan Blachowicz, congratulations, my friend. He goes out there and does it in fashion tonight. That left hook sits Reyes down and then ultimately just goes in with that power and finishes it. Polish power, John.
Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible as I catch my breath. Hard not to just feel so good for him and his family. And again, if his fight week demeanor was any indicator, you just knew that he was going to come up large tonight.
You did.
And he cashes big as a plus 220 underdog. Now look at the post-fight stats. Brought to you by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app for free to get in on all the fight action. Use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. And for a guy in John Jones, who won 15 straight title fights, right? Hand raised in 15 straight title fights. One guy who wasn't on his resume was Jan Blachowicz, and you do wonder what is going through the mind of Johnny Bones in New Mexico. I feel like this fight might have some juice for him now.
You know, I mean, listen, I gotta say, I agree with you there. You go out there and you do what Jan Blachowicz has been doing, and Reyes, you know, had that kind of fight with you, and he goes out there and does some in that kind of fashion that quickly into this 5-round fight. Like, come on, yeah, you're gonna want to know, oh man. So maybe there is some more challenges out there yet for Johnny Bones Jones. John, don't come beat me up, by the way.
Ha! So Jan Blachowicz is the new UFC light heavyweight champion, and that is a distinction that will never be taken away from him. All right, what's coming up is brought to you by EA Sports UFC 4. Shape your legend in EA Sports UFC 4, available now on Xbox One and PS4. And you know damn well what's coming up. The last style bender, Israel Adesanya, is a world-class striker with a mind for the fight game that few can match. And he is also the best kind of undisputed UFC champion, a guy who wants to prove himself by beating all of the biggest threats. Paulo Costa certainly checks that box among others, and tonight the Brazilian finally gets that elusive first crack at UFC gold. He believes he has put in all the right work to make the most of it tonight. Our championship main event is coming up next from Fight Island.
What's up, UFC? It's Jesse T. Usher, aka the Super Speedster from Amazon Prime Video's The Boys, Season 2 airing right now. But I'm here to find out who's gonna have the fastest hands tonight.
It's hard being superior to every person on the planet. God should not have to feel that kind of pain.
You slipped Compound V to terrorists all over the globe to get you and your cronies into national defense.
That is amazing.
You hear that concept or that idea, that phrase all the time, find yourself, find yourself. Well, like, what if you never lost yourself?
Evan Tanner wrote, I plan on going so deep into the desert that any failure of my equipment could cost me my life.
Maybe it was just an accident, but a lot of people believe that he put himself in that situation with the intentions of not coming back.
I think he definitely realized what he had accomplished, but Evan, he had some severe demons that got in the way.
I heard many stories about him just kind of wandering off into the woods for days at a time. He would do this for fun.
If somebody told him not to, that's the first thing he did.
When people would talk about suicide and all this, I said, no, he had plans, and it just all went bad at the same time.
It was a simple mistake. You have to lose yourself to find yourself, you know, and in losing everything, you find the things that really matter.
That right there, the W Abu Dhabi here on UFC Fight Island. 5-star boutique hotel. Doesn't even begin to describe it. It's just about a mile from the Flash Forum, site of tonight's historic UFC 253 pay-per-view event. And now live from the Flash Forum here on UFC Fight Island in Abu Dhabi, UAE. It is time for the main event for UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa. These middleweight rankings are brought to you by EA Sports UFC 4. Shape your legend in EA Sports UFC 4. Available now on Xbox One and PS4. Israel Adesanya with that C next to his name. Paulo Costa with a number 2. Of course, Robert Whittaker in between them, the former champion. But this is about as good as it gets. 2 undefeated fighters competing for the sport's ultimate prize.
Oh, absolutely. This is the fight we've been waiting all night for, and it's finally here. And you look at these rankings, you look at some of these challengers and competitors that have gone in there. Rio Romero, Hermanson, who's been on a roll. Cannonier, who's coming up next. And now we finally get to see Costa and Israel go at it, man. It's coming up. Let's go.
So Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa have forged a path of destruction at 185 pounds. And in so doing, they have set the stage for what is as anticipated as any UFC title fight in recent memory. Here, now, with the highest of stakes. Someone's O has got to go. He has taken this sport by storm. He moves every needle, celebrity and otherwise, that you would want him to move. He is 17-0, but tonight he figures to be facing his stiffest challenge to date as Israel Adesanya takes on Robert Whittaker.
The goals I have is names, and I want to be the guy that took out everyone, so when it's all said and done, they'll be like, man.
Oh! Whittaker nearly out on his feet. Adesanya trying to close it out. Israel Adesanya!
He's a GOAT. He's the greatest of all time.
I got this heavy-ass Ricky Martin wannabe. He been talking, oh, I'm gonna smash him, bro. I don't like this guy, this Israel guy. I want to rearrange his face. Trust me, when I'm done with him, he'll really look like Ricky Martin. Watch.
Let's fight, let's fight.
He's shameful. He talk a lot. It's personal.
Adesanya versus Costa is the most exciting middleweight championship fight of all time. In Paulo Costa, you have the most terrifying contender ever.
What's going down and I'm making it known now. I'ma let off a whole round. I'm a pro.
You have an enormous man with ferocious power. Oh, that's it. Who's been able to smash everyone the UFC put in front of him. You got a man who walks down Yoel Romero.
Oh! He clipped him! He's hurt. Yoel Romero's supposed to be scary. Paulo Costa went at him as if there was no threat.
Look at him, just constantly smothering. I mean, he's just all over Yoel.
After this fight, I want my chance to prove I am the champion.
Adesanya is nothing. He's very skinny. He's not born to fight. I think he's born to be dancer.
think it's just something that's been infused through Hollywood, that you gotta be this jacked Rambo, be a fighter, be a tough guy. And it's like, nah, I don't need power. Everyone has power. I have precision.
Get the bonus checks ready. Oh, another knockdown! Israel Adesanya!
He's fought pretty much human punching bags his whole career. He's never fought a guy who is as technically sound as I am. He's a bitch, and he's my bitch, and I want to make him my bitch.
Oh!
There's no one like me, like, no one.
His striking IQ is off the charts. That's it! That's the last style bender, folks.
Adesanya is afraid.
He just run, I will destroy him.
Trust me, I'm gonna have fun with him. He's gonna swing at me, hit fresh air, then hit the floor.
I will hit him so badly. He will cry inside the cage.
I'll pick him apart. I go near your issue, bro.
I'll see you soon, boy.
Eu quero ver esse comigo agora. Vamos lá. Deus de fogo, e abriu o mar vermelho. Deus de fogo, e não deixa ninguém tocar no fio do teu cabelo. Deus de fogo, e te chama pelo nome. Eu nunca vi o justo mendigar o pão, sem sua descendência passa fome.
So it all comes down to this for the Brazilian bomber Paulo Costa. As a human being, gracious, kind, thoughtful, humble, it certainly counters the imposing nature of his fighting style. But Paul, we've gotten to know this guy. He doesn't care about money, doesn't really care about fame. He is hell-bent on realizing a UFC championship, and he has left no stone unturned in his desire to get the job done here tonight.
Yeah, and this guy has been an athlete since he was a little boy, lifting weights. You know, it's just something he's been obsessed with, and then he found fighting and jiu-jitsu through family, and now he's got his opportunity that he's been waiting for. And he hasn't had that many UFC fights to get here, but it's in the fashion that he has performed and finished those fights that has placed him in this position tonight to be facing Israel Adesanya, the champion. He goes out there and he goes for broke trying to finish fights. And even in that Yoel Romero fight, even though he didn't get that done, that was for sure his intention, obviously, the entire fight, moving forward against one of the scariest guys in middleweight history.
Certainly his coaches and his teammates will talk about the ability, but they will also tell you that what sets him apart is the mentality, the work ethic, the desire to be an all-time great. Now, as far as things go stylistically tonight, you know he wants to try to close the distance, cut angles on Israel Adesanya, but he also mentioned the word patience. That has not been a staple of his UFC career to this point in time, but he is acutely aware of the challenge in front of him, and perhaps we see a varied approach here early on.
Yeah, and I think that's because of that Romero fight, right? And a lot of people and all of the critics out there are judging his cardio because of that, but it was because of the nature of how he fought. Now, he knows he's got a championship 5-round fight here tonight, so I do think we're going to see a little more patience. I don't think that means it's going to be boring. I think he's still going to be aggressive, but he is going to have to pick his shots and pick his moments, because if he just goes out there and goes for broke in the first 5 minutes, there's a long night ahead of him with somebody as composed as Israel Adesanya.
When he was preparing for Yoel Romero last August, he went through 20 sparring partners. A lot of people suggested Yoel was too much too soon. At that time, he was just 4-0 in the UFC. There have been some injuries. He had a bicep surgery on his left arm. That was injured twice, and anybody who's had that surgery knows it's not all that easy to come back from. Paulo Costa getting his first UFC title shot tonight on Fight Island.
When I just speak on my canvas, it's shoemakers, I can talk around the subject, I don't make us.
cool as a cucumber. Here is the Nigerian-born, New Zealand-raised Israel Adesanya, 8-0 in the UFC. Made his debut back in 2018. Stopped Derek Brunson later that year to cap a 4-0 first year on the roster, and then it was off to the races for the now undisputed UFC middleweight champion, Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, one of the things I absolutely love about Adesanya is how busy he likes to keep himself, right? He likes to go from one fight to the next. Even as a champion, he likes to stay active. He wants to fight the best guys, and that you cannot deny him, right? He wants the challenges that other people may have tried to avoid, the Romeros, the Costas of this division. He's not picking and choosing his opponents. He wants them. If Dana says, hey, this is who you're fighting, okay, let's go. Is that what people want? That's what I want. He believes in his skill sets, he believes in his training, he believes in his coaches, and he's proven it time and time again that he's got it. I mean, this guy's special from his movement and his diversity of striking, whether it be his Muay Thai style, his elusiveness, his wrestling defense that he's proven time and time again inside of the octagon. I mean, he's got it all.
And we could go on all day about this cat, right? The creativity, how open his mind is to learning new things. His alignment with Eugene Behrman has certainly produced something special. The cardio, he's often fond of saying, I don't get tired. If you doubt the heart or toughness, go watch the Kelvin Gastelum fight at UFC 236. It has been an incredible rise to UFC superstardom for Israel Adesanya. In terms of the entrance, he told us the big stadium crowd in Melbourne sort of necessitated something epic, far more subdued here tonight. And although he has said this is a different kind of bull in a matador-bull equation in Paulo Costa, he believes that he has all the tools to get it done and successfully defend this undisputed title for a second time. With that, the tale of the tape is sponsored by Howlerhead. Israel Adesanya is 31 years old. Paulo Costa is 29. Adesanya is 3 inches taller. He will have an 8-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the main event introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Mike Bell, Dave Torelli, and Clemens Werner. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Jason Herzog. This championship bout is sponsored by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. Presented by The Boys. Watch the diabolical new season only on Amazon Prime Video. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Live from UFC Fight Island in Abu Dhabi, it's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC middleweight championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record, 13 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Costa Gem, Minas Gerais, Brazil, presenting the number 2 ranked middleweight contender in the world, the challenger, Paulo the Eraser Costa! And now introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, an undefeated mixed martial artist holding a perfect professional record, 19 wins, no losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Auckland, New Zealand, by way of Lagos, Nigeria, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya.
Fighter's gone over the rules in the back. There were no final questions from you, blue. There were no final questions from you, red. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Come out ready to fight.
If there is anything like the tension of a UFC championship main event in professional sports, I will take your nominations. And this one in particular, the consensus greatest two middleweights in the world at present, Paulo Costa and Israel Adesanya. Costa closing in the plus 155 range. Israel Adesanya, the champion and the favorite, around minus 175. Paulo Costa is in gray. Israel Adesanya is in the black and gold, befitting a champion.
Ooh, strong leg kick from Izzy to start. Costa waves him on.
Both men just so comfortable in a fight. Some early leg attacks for Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, and that's what Izzy's going to do. He's going to be smart, and he's going to try to let Costa fall on his own sword and rush in, and then he'll look to counter with some of his strikes. But right now, he's smart. He'll pick from the outside. He'll attack that leg.
And it's interesting to hear Adesanya's teammates and coaches talk about how much better he's getting in terms of his strikes and putting some power behind them. You know about the kickboxing credentials, and now 19-0 in his mixed martial arts career. Costa attacks that lead leg of Adesanya. Adesanya pretty effective with those early low leg kicks. About a minute gone by here in round one. Nice body kick lands for the Brazilian. Looked like that was close to the solar plexus there. Beautiful body kick from Costa.
And I've said that in the lead. Costa's got underrated kicks. He throws them, but Izzy doing a really good job of already chopping that lead leg of Paulo Costa.
And Costa acknowledged that latest offering from Adesanya. You think about checking some of those, Paul?
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't even want to check it. I just wouldn't want to be there. Because you see, he's precise with it. He's hitting that same exact spot, right on the knee, every time.
Adesanya putting money in the bank early. You already see the redness. Body kick from Costa and a counter right from Adesanya. Looked like Costa was able to avoid that switch kick offering from Adesanya. Adesanya super efficient here early on. Not at all surprised to see these two combatants jawing back and forth. Costa going hands behind his back earlier than I expected.
Not to be recommended, but you know. That left kick is sneaky there from Costa. And this is the patience I think we're talking about, John, from Costa. He's not rushing in because he knows Izzy's so good at countering, sitting back and waiting for you to rush in.
Under 2 minutes here to go in this round. In Adesanya's last defense against Yoel Romero, he was surprised to see Romero sort of flat-footed standing there, not doing much. Already 9 leg kicks have landed for the incumbent.
You might have checked that last one, but those other ones are getting through. They're doing damage. Even if Costa's playing it off, it does not mean they're not affecting him.
Costa closes the distance quickly there, appeared to partially land. And again, Adesanya putting in good work on that lead leg of Costa.
You see all the cupping on Costa's legs and already going after them. He's not an idiot. If he sees a weakness, he's going to come after it. And that's his safest bet right now, especially early in the first round when Costa's fresh. Chip at the legs, wear him down. Oh, brilliant.
Adesanya in an outstanding striking flow early, moving brilliantly. First clinch situation doesn't last very long.
Man, Izzy looking really sharp here. Landing those leg kicks, sitting back.
Just 7 total strike attempts now, 8 for Paulo Costa.
Yeah, not his norm. You're normally very busy with his strikes.
But this does dovetail with what he said to us in our fighter meeting. No need to be anxious or fast early. 5 minutes down, round 1 for the champion.
All right, let's take a look here. This was the story of that first round. Big leg kicks there from Adesanya. And, you know, stomping to the front leg, then going to the roundhouse, right on the knee, on the calf. He's really attacking the vulnerable parts there. There's a body kick from Costa that kind of bounced off the hip. That one lands. Izzy catches it, looks to counter. Good job from Costa, pushing off and staying safe there.
That's what I need. It's perfect. Trust in your combos. When you get to the fence, don't let him come and go.
Respira, respira, respira. Sai muito cedo, Badu.
All right, here we go, round 2. The Paulo Costa corner appeared to like the way he approached those 5 minutes. Adesanya, 22 of 37 unofficially on his significant strikes in round 1. Here we go, round 2.
Starting to really get red on that leg, that lead leg of Paulo Costa. Just, oh, look at the bruising too.
And that last really one's not going to help matters. You wonder.
Yeah, it's like you can see each impact where it was landing and which ones, like lower shin, mid shin, knee, of where Israel is landing each one of those kicks.
Adesanya appeared an inch away from landing that head kick. Costa did not necessarily think so.
The poker face strong from Paulo Costa, but he's not landing anything yet. He's got to close this distance. He's got to let his hands go. There's a nice leg kick. There's another one. But no boxing so far, really, from Paulo. Yeah, look at that leg. And he's attacked the inside quite a few times now as well, really mixing it up. And for Israel, he could do that all day. He could sit out here all day and attack those legs.
Head kick appeared to partially land. The gamesmanship continues from Paulo Costa. 90 seconds gone by round 2. Costa still moving pretty well, but do not want to eat too many more of those. Got to think they were expectant that Izzy was going to attack in that way.
I mean, 20 leg kicks. Look at that. 20 leg kicks landed from Israel Adesanya. And of course, yeah, of course it was expected. But at some point, you've got to try to address it. You've got to go for it, right? And I'm not saying that's easy to do, especially when you're facing such a diverse striker in Israel Adesanya. But at some point, there's a beautiful body kick. There's another one. Oh, left hand switch stance there from Adesanya. He's just so smooth, not even open his mouth to breathe at all here. Almost midway through the second round, looking fantastic.
Yep, fighting a near perfect fight, and right after the main event, don't miss a recap of all the action on the UFC Fight Night, or 253 post-show, I should say. It's on ESPN+. Paul, Megan, Angela Hill, Brendan Fitzgerald, break it all down right after the main event. It's only on ESPN+. Oh! That one certainly appeared to land, but Costa was able to eat it.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Paulo Costa. He's getting picked apart here in this fight.
And it looked like that head kick opened up a cut in and around that right eyebrow of Costa, who eats a jab there from Adesanya, who is firing on all cylinders tonight.
That gamemanship is slowing down a bit, John.
You are right about that. Under 2 minutes here in round 2. And now Adesanya attacks the inside of that right leg.
That leg is trash. Absolute trash. Costa's got to commit, John, if he wants to stay in this fight. Because Izzy will do this from the outside for the rest of this fight if he has to, if he doesn't catch him in the meantime. But now, since he's been attacking the legs so much, Izzy can afford himself now to take risks and start going upstairs, because now he's got Costa's attention so much. Ooh! And then he's out. And then he's going to go to the leg again. Oh! Knocked down for Adesanya! Costa trying to recover! That is it! Still undisputed! Quick night at the office for the champion, Israel Adesanya! Too easy. Too easy. He's too good. Wow. I mean, you look at Paulo Costa, you think, oh, he's got to go in with these dangerous strikes.
I know you're mad. Cut to the camera. I know you're mad. But hey, Auckland, Wanganui, Road to Vegas, Lagos City, Mr. Alagidi, Eminele, and Miami, Kilo Chalet, nothing carry last.
He has left Anderson Silva, Kelvin Gastelum, Robert Whittaker, Yoel Romero, and now Paulo Costa in his wake. He wants to fight all of the most imposing figures. That meant Paulo Costa, and man, did he dispose of that top contender properly tonight.
I mean, with ease, John. With ease. He made that look easy, the leg kicks. And then what did I say? I said he's gonna start chewing those legs apart, and he's gonna find his opportunity to go back upstairs, lands those head kicks, lands those punches, and then when he has you hurt, man, the elbows from the top, raining down strikes, and just beautiful work.
All right, this fight replay is brought to you by GovX. If you have a military or first responder background, get ultimate deals on the gear you love at GovX.com.
Well, let's take a look. This is just beautiful work here. Boom, right off the dome. I don't know how Costa ate that one. Split him open, though. And at this point, his legs are gone. I mean, he was trying to put on a good poker face, but his legs were trashed by Israel Adesanya. Here, look at that slip. Boom, there's that slide back left hand right off the temple, drops him, and Israel goes in for the kill, starts smashing him with hammer fist. Very similar to the finish against Robert Whittaker here, in the way that they end up in this awkward position, ends up getting mount though, and you see how badly he wants to land those elbows with all the trash talk, all the smack talk that's been happening. Let's take a look at the corners. Eugene, absolutely, his team losing their minds on that. Congratulations, Israel Adesanya. You look fantastic tonight, brother.
80%, they don't give a fuck about 30. Right. They'll take that cup just to get up next. Right. 80%, no, I bet you. These motherfuckers had 90 minutes to finish making their way.
Adesanya is still upset about Shane Young, his teammate's opponent, who declined and missed weight by 4 pounds and ended up getting a win. And an emphatic one at that. Now look at the post-fight stats brought to you by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings app for free. To get in on all the fight action, use code UFC when you sign up. DraftKings, you can bet on it. So you are looking at the longest winning streaks in UFC middleweight history. Anderson Silva entrenched there with 13, but Adesanya moving into a tie with Chris Weidman at 9. And looks like a pretty good bet to make it double digits in his next fight.
Hey, stay salty, babe.
The official decision is brought to you by Guaranteed Rate. You could save massive money on your mortgage with the incredibly low rates from Guaranteed Rate. Act now by visiting rate.com. One final time tonight. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Jason Herzog has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 59 seconds of the second round. Declaring the winner by TKO and still the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, Israel, the last style bender, Adesanya!
Fastest man in the world, baby. Because I run so fast. I run shit into your face.
All right, here he is, the undisputed UFC middleweight champion, the last style better, Israel Adesanya. With the entire world watching, you turned in a near-perfect performance here tonight. It seems like everything you said during fight week bared fruit here tonight. Congratulations.
I've been telling you guys, man, but everyone thinks, hey, like Roy Jones said, I said, y'all must have forgot. Y'all must have forgot. Because of what happened last time, you thought, oh, he's so boring, blah, 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 blah. And I see you media people as well with your little clickbait headlines, but trust me, I had to make y'all remember, and I had to remind the world why We the best.
There were a lot of champions who wouldn't have asked for Yoel Romero. They wouldn't have asked for Paulo Costa. I know you want to fight the most dangerous guys, but you believe there was a major skill discrepancy here tonight. Your thoughts on the fight?
I've been telling y'all, man, honestly. And also, I got to say, I told Dana, 30% is not enough. Fuck that. Some of these guys are gangsters. They're making money outside the UFC. 30% ain't shit to them. So they'll give up that to not make the weight and have 90 minutes to keep on making the weight. And they just, oh, fuck it. Drink their waters and whatnot. 30% is not enough. Make it 90%. And that way, I guarantee you, they'll spend every of those seconds in that 90 minutes trying to make the weight and not just bitch out.
You haven't had a lot of time off. You are 20-0 as a mixed martial arts athlete, a perfect 9-0 in the UFC. As you spin this thing forward, get in here, Gino.
That's my guy. I don't care. I just want him here. I just want him here. Yeah, carry on.
As you spin this thing forward and you look ahead in this middleweight division that you are starting to clean out, your thoughts on what lies ahead?
I told you guys, Anderson Silva lived a great legacy, and I said I wanted to do service to the middleweight division, and that's a hard act to follow, but we're doing the work, right, Huge? 100%. So I already DM'd Jared Cannonier. He's a hell of a dude. I love his energy. He's a beautiful, beautiful man. And I said, you destroy Robert Whittaker and you're next. He's the one I want to fight next, right, Huge? He deserves it. If he beats Robert Whittaker handedly and dominates him, he's next.
The world once again witnesses your greatness here tonight. Any final words, champ, before we let you fly?
Hey, shout out to the best team in the world, City Kickboxing, Andre Paulette, Eugene, Tristan. Can you hear my mans in the back? Brad Riddell, Kai Carfran, Shane Young, Bo, Carlos Alberg, Blood Diamond, Shed Juan, Wagwan. Honestly, man, I love you all. Everyone watching at home, I love you all. Hey, shout out to the puppy. Mwah.
You are looking at the undisputed greatest middleweight in the world at present. The champion remains Israel Adesanya.
Bruh.
And that post-fight interview was brought to you by EA Sports UFC 4. Shape your legend in EA Sports UFC 4. Available now on Xbox One and PS4. Interesting from the Israel Adesanya there once. Jared Cannonier next. And I like that, but like he said, he's got to get through Robert Whittaker. Here's the head kick that kind of started it all for me. Split Paulo Costa off, but really, let's be honest, it was all these leg kicks from Adesanya, just damaging that lead leg. So smooth with his boxing. Look at that slip, boom, just glances off the side of Paulo Costa's head, and then the finish on top here with the ground and pound. I mean, what's there to say? The guy is as legit as you can get.
Well, and if there are some out there in the MMA world that still want to deny this man and question his greatness, he is putting himself in some pretty elite company with what he is doing. And just go look at the victims list. Israel Adesanya remains the class of the 185-pounders.
Hey, you hold this. I'm gonna dance. You know me, cleanest athlete in the game.
On this way, Israel?
Let me go see the boys real quick. Follow us.
UFC 253, Adesanya versus Costa, has been brought to you by O2 Industries. Proud to fight alongside the UFC. Visit protectthefighter.com. By EA Sports UFC 4, available now on Xbox One and PS4. Play as the UFC's biggest stars or start shaping your own UFC legend. And by P3, the official protein snack of UFC.
The coronavirus, clearly this is uncharted territory.
Sports leagues shutting down.
I didn't want to stop. What makes sense? Where could you get people in and out of from all over the world? Islands.
I've secured an island. We're going to do all of our fights on this island.
Welcome to the planet Island.
There's no other thing on Earth going on like this.
No one in and no one out.
These platforms come up every once in a blue moon.
The whole world was watching. How was this going to play out? this is going to get interesting.
Oh, God. We're not on, are we?
That guy should be fired and never work again.
About to make history.
The celebration is on in the City Kickboxing locker room. Nice to see Kai Kara-France getting in on it after what was a tough night for him earlier. Those two are super tight. What a moment for the City Kickboxing team here tonight, and plenty to unpack for the folks on the UFC 253 post show coming up in a matter of moments live on ESPN+. Wow, so much hype, so much anticipation for this UFC championship fight here tonight. And it seemed like all the betting sharps out there loved this spot for Adesanya. They saw so much value on the betting line. And I think there were a lot of us out there who felt like Paulo Costa was going to put forth a really valiant effort. And perhaps he will change his approach if he gets a rematch. But man, it was all Izzy, and the sharps look pretty sharp tonight.
Yeah, and there'll be no time soon, right, for that rematch. I think Paulo Costa's got to go and really earn that way back to that title shot, because Izzy just picked him apart, and he made it look easy. He said that the whole time leading up to this fight, that he was going to do that, and he did.
On the Costa side, very quickly, in terms of his approach, right? I mean, he threw maybe 12 strikes overall, super patient, didn't really answer those leg kicks whatsoever. Do you think maybe he got away from what sort of got him to the dance, so to speak?
Yeah. I mean, he did, right? I mean, I don't know what the plan was, but whatever the plan was, wasn't what he is normally out there doing. I don't know if the 5 rounds is something that really freaked him out and worried him, but ultimately, he didn't throw. He would try to, get in under the skin of Izzy, and it just wasn't working. Izzy just sat back, didn't say too much, kicked him, and then knocked him out.
So Israel Adesanya gets it done in round 2. He would consider it a 3rd title defense. Of course, there was the unification bout with Robert Whittaker, then the official defense #1 against Yoel Romero, and now he has Paulo Costa's scalp on his resume as well. And again, you look back to the guy who made his UFC debut in Perth against Rob Wilkinson, right? This is a completely different animal than the guy we saw 2.5 years ago. He hasn't had so much as 6 months off. And as we show you the pecking order at 185 pounds, a lot of these guys have already been beaten by Israel Adesanya. Jared Cannonier was the name on the tip of his tongue after the fight tonight.
Yeah, and he's got a big fight coming up October 24th himself. So obviously we got to see what happens with Rob Whittaker and Jared Cannonier. I absolutely love that matchup. These are two guys that bring it every single time. Jared Cannonier, talking about a guy who used to fight at heavyweight, 205, now really comfortably has found his home at 185 pounds and has been absolutely vicious there. Been sidelined for a little while. Cannot wait to see him get back in there and perform. And anytime we got our man Bobby Knuckles on the card, I'm tuning in.
Well, and if Robert Whittaker is able to get past Jared Cannonier, I think Izzy would probably have a healthy appetite for that rematch. So Whittaker, given his standing as a former undisputed UFC middleweight champion, perhaps that's a rematch that happens not.
Exactly, especially after him going out, taking out Till, having that battle with Till. Goes and beats Cannonier, I think he's deserving right there. But Cannonier, the champion, already wants you. So if he goes out there and performs against Robert Whittaker, he's sliding right in there for that title shot.
All right, co-main event tonight produced a new undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion, and that man is Jan Blachowicz. What else can you say about what this guy has done over the last 3 years in realizing this championship moment tonight?
Just from the beginning of his career until now, how smooth, calm, he was confident in there, he's throwing combinations, he's mixing in his kicks. If this had ever really gone to the ground, I'm confident he would have done well down there. Really picked apart the rib cage there of Dominic Reyes, landed some big shots, broke the nose clearly, and I think that really was the beginning of the end. Once that nose went, you see how smashed it is here. It was really damaged, and Blachowicz was all over that. Look at the face here of Dominic Reyes. Just beautiful work. That Polish power, that should be this man's nickname.
So when Jan Blachowicz was able to finish Corey Anderson back in Rio Rancho, New Mexico, John Jones was octagon side. Blachowicz came over. The two of them had a moment, but now John Jones has left this division. And you can be sure Jan Blachowicz wants to take his cracks at the guy many believe is the greatest mixed martial arts athlete of all time. But at least right now, Johnny Bones appears to be moving up to heavyweight. So as we show you the current top 10 at 205 pounds, Dominic Reyes likely will no longer be the #1 contender. Of course, a huge fight beckons between Thiago Santos and Glover Teixeira. Gotta think in that matchup of Brazilians, you're gonna have a #1 contender.
100%. I was just thinking that Thiago Santos already took out Jan Blachowicz. So if if Santos can go out there and get another win, he might be right there. That'd be a perfect rematch. That's a fight. Sign me up all day to see that one go down again. And Glover Teixeira, just, man, at his age, has just looked absolutely fantastic. So aggressive, finishing people, putting beatings on younger men. I mean, to see him get another crack at the title, if he can go and take out somebody like as dangerous as Thiago Santos, yes, please.
I would also tell you that Jan Blachowicz has since sparred with his former opponent, Thiago Santos. So some increased familiarity. They have fought once before. They have since trained together. But Glover Teixeira looks to be in great form despite his advanced age. We love you, Glover Teixeira.
Yes.
But again, 205 pounds. Seems to be in great shape right
Such
now. A lot of
division.
people wondered what would happen when Johnny Bones left. And
looks just fine to me
yeah,
right now. And he just adds more intrigue, right? What if he comes back? Now maybe he just had to sit back and let these guys play it out, and then he just slides in whenever he's ready.
Hey, an honor to call this big one with you tonight, my man.
Hey, man, I had a blast with you, brother. Thank you.
All right, UFC 253 is in the history books, and a lot of history was made here tonight. The executive producers of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, UFC President Dana White, Ari Emanuel, and Patrick Whitesell. Our Executive VP of Operations and Production is Greg Borsari. Vice President and Coordinating Producer, Zach Candido. Tonight's show has been produced by Lappy LaPlante and directed by the venerable Anthony Giordano. What a pay-per-view it was. Ketlin Vieira finally can exhale after a big win over Sijara Eubanks. Brandon Royval moving on up in the flyweight division after he is able to submit Kai Kara-France. Royval's future appears to be awfully bright. And what a way that was to lead us into this championship doubleheader. Of course, it was Dominic Reyes who came in his words, maybe the uncrowned champion, but it was the underdog Jan Blachowicz who put that Polish power on display for the world to see, and he will head back to Poland to become a father as the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world. Of course, eventually all roads were going to lead us to the UFC middleweight championship fight. A lot of people thought it could be a matchup for the ages, but it was one-sided. Israel Adesanya remains the class of the 185-pound division. We congratulate the last style bender on an epic performance tonight. With that, for Paul Felder and the rest of our crew here in Abu Dhabi, John Anik saying so long from UFC Fight Island. More live action coming your way next Saturday night, live on ESPN. Good night.